Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut. And I'm your host, Jody Coleman, in the building, joined by my man, Jarrell Solo Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Man, how you doing, my guy?
I'm feeling great, man. It's Saturday. I will say the sun's up, but not today. But it's gonna be a good day today. How you doing, my brother? We ain't talked in a while. We ain't done our show in a while. I miss you, dog. What's going on?
I was a little under the weather, man. Hey, bedridden for like 4 days, man, last week, man. So when I said I wasn't feeling well, I must have had the flu. I had 103 temperature. Man, I couldn't eat nothing. I didn't eat for 3 or 4 days, man. So yeah, your boy down bad, man. But I'm back up right, man. But yeah, that's why we was gone for a week, man. I wasn't feeling. I was under the weather, man. I ain't felt like that, and like I thought I had COVID. I ain't on.
Did you take a COVID shot? I mean, a COVID test?
Nah, I didn't take one. Man, it was. Listen, I'm gonna tell you how bad it was, man. I couldn't even get out the bed, man. I couldn't move, man. I was literally, man. I was sweating profusely,
Yeah.
sweating through my clothes, but I was ice cold. Like I don't know what that was about, man. I was undercover, but I was hot as but I was sweating, so it was crazy work, man. And uh, I'm back healthy now, man. That's what's important, man. I've been,
Yes, sir.
you know, drinking my vitamins. I mean, drinking my vitamin C and all that good stuff, man. But we back, man. It took a long road, but we back. We got my man Michael, the People Champ Perry, in the building. Was good.
Man, I'm happy to be here. I spent 3 days in the hospital this week, Monday through Wednesday. Uh, part of that 50 something that happens, and you got to go in for tune-ups and oil changes.
Yeah.
Because they happen to you without you really even know what's going on. And turned out not to be as severe, but I do got some follow-up tests, and I don't mind sharing because I do think it's important for me, and most especially Black men, to follow up on their health and to try to stay aware. So I will be having a stress test. I do have a neurological test that will be taken to just try to figure out a little bit more about some things. Blood pressure, glucose, and B12 were all out of whack. And so that was Wednesday, but hey, I'm here today. I feel great. They stuck every fucking finger that I have, taking my blood. The shit is irritating. And I'm not used to having sore fingertips because I like to use my hands, if you know what I mean. So, but I'm back. And then Caleb Wilson gets hurt. And then now just fucking here we are.
I'm good to see y'all back,
Yeah,
man.
man. Well, how you feeling down there, so?
I'm feeling all right, man.
How you feeling
Mike
down there,
said.
so?
Like Mike said, I've been going to the doctor and everything too. We got to keep up with our health. Make sure we're gonna be here for a long time. So very important, man. Health is wealth, baby. We got to keep that going. We got to appreciate all the fans out there because it's very important, man. You only get one body. The one you got to take care of it, man.
You surely do.
You absolutely do, man. And I'm just happy definitely to be here, man. I'm glad Mike is healthy, man. So you can see up here, man, the weather changed so rapidly, man. I think that's what's killing us up here, man. So that's where we at. Eagles Philly said, "Good morning, good brothers. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe and stay blessed. Welcome back. I miss everybody. Had a birthday yesterday. Turned 41. Younger. Thank you to God for His blessing to me seeing another year. Happy birthday to
Happy
our
birthday.
man. Belated birthday out there to our man, Eagles Philly. Sorry about that. We wasn't on the air so we could celebrate it. But once again, you're here. We definitely want to celebrate you like you family because you're here every show, man. But we got a great and fabulous show. We've been gone for a week, and we won't do that again. God willing, we won't do that again. But we got something spectacular on the docket, man. This is like the second to last day of college basketball before championship week officially starts. Some of the smaller schools have started. So I know Mike has on his home attire, even though they're going to be on the road against Duke. We got UNC going against Duke. We'll definitely talk about the best rivalry in college basketball. We'll talk about that. But we're going to talk about the return of Jayson Tatum to the Boston Celtics. The real superhero came back and saving the day. 15, 12, and 7. The guy looked like he never left, man. After not missing only 10 months of basketball, he was able to come and play 27 minutes. We'll talk about that. But we got to talk about NFL and the trades and releases. So that's where we're going to start off at, because it's crazy work out here, man. I don't know what the hell just happened, but we know the biggest news that happened last night, right when I was watching the Boston Celtics versus the Dallas Mavericks. Sold on Sports, this came across my screen. They said Maxx Crosby is going to go to the Baltimore Ravens. Out of all teams y'all could have sent this dude to, y'all sent him to my division, where we already got a quarterback that don't know how to get rid of the ball. Sold on Sports, talk to me about the effect of what Maxx Crosby can do for the Baltimore Ravens, because Dallas was this close to getting him. Dallas was this close to getting him. They was going to give up, I think, a first and a third, but I think they went with the Baltimore Ravens. They went with the Baltimore Ravens deal. I guess it must have been much sweeter. Talk to me, Saul. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the Ravens gave up. I mean, the Ravens got. I think they gave up 2 first-round picks. I think the first this year and the first round next year. So 2 first-round picks is better than the first and the third. I'll take that any day of the week. But Maxx Crosby, Jody and Mike, like we talk about all the time, he's one of those defensive ends that can be a game changer when he has an offense on the other side. And the Ravens got that offense. We'll see if Myles Garrett's going to stay in Cleveland much longer. He's that one of those guys that can make a difference, man. He could be that difference to put Baltimore over the top and make them a Super Bowl contender. They could be that. They could be this year's Seattle Seahawks. You never know. They already got the offense. I do think they need to get Lamar maybe one more weapon on the offense side of the ball, maybe another wide receiver. But other than that, I think they got, and I think Maxx Crosby can be that missing piece to get Lamar to the Super Bowl.
No doubt, man. Michael, the people saying, what did you think when you seen Maxx Crosby's name go across your screen, going to the Baltimore Ravens of all places? Man, what did you think about that, Mike?
The Ravens director of player personnel must have been listening to some Biggie yesterday, and he went at them like Biggie would after the "What's your name? What's your sign?" I creep up from behind and ask you what your interests are, who you be with. And they asked that question, and Maxx Crosby said, "Shit, I'm with y'all." And Dallas was left out in the cold, still searching for the replacement for Michael Parsons. And it was in the 9th hour, and so that had to hurt Dallas pretty bad. But for the Ravens, if you were going to do this, then why'd you get rid of Harbaugh? Because they simply needed to revamp the defense. They didn't need a new coach. They just simply needed to make some efforts to make the defense better. And so it is a move that they clearly are supporting the new young coach, and we're giving him all the tools that he needs.
Yeah, man. When I seen it, I was like, wow. I mean, of course, me being a Cleveland Brown fan, I'm like, okay, you're going to bring this monster into our division where we already got to worry about TJ. We got Myles Garrett. And then you bring some more studs to the Baltimore Raven organization that don't need no more studs. They got more star-studded players on their team than probably any other team in the National Football League. When you're talking about notable names, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, now you bring this guy, Maxx Crosby, on the defense side of the ball. They got a secondary that's pretty good with Humphreys, and they got Cal Hamilton, and then you got Roquan Smith at the linebacker position. Now you got a guy that can rush the passer, that's relentless, that's never been on a winning team. So let's see how he reacts. Now, my only thing that I would say, giving up 2 first-round picks for a guy that's 30 years of age is kind of, I don't know. You better get dividends early, giving up 2 first-round picks for a guy. Like I said, the guy is a tremendous edge rusher, but he's never played in playoff atmosphere or anything that meant anything. So what do you think about this guy going to the Ravens and never has played in anything that remotely said we can make the playoffs, or that shit, not even the Super Bowl? So what can this guy do when the chips are on the line? Do you think this guy's going to be a gamer? We've seen this happen before, and sometimes these guys fizzle out. Do you think this is that? Was it good enough? The 2 first-round picks for Maxx Crosby?
If I'm the Baltimore Ravens, if I get to a Super Bowl and win it, it was worth it. I'd give you 3 first-round picks for a Super Bowl victory. So I think he can get it done. I really do think he can. Hey, Jody, he's a defensive end. He's not a quarterback that's going to have to learn all these different plays. They're going to tell him to go get the fucking quarterback. That's what you're good at. And now he was playing 100% when he was with the Raiders. He was out there playing and didn't have a chance to win nothing. And now he's in Baltimore. He's got to bring a different level of intensity to that locker room. And I think this is going to really help the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm looking forward to see what they do when the season starts.
Okay. Jason, the Hefty Lefty said, did he play for the Bengals against the Bengals in 20? I don't know. Can you look that up? Because I don't know if he was on that roster when they played them in the playoffs against Joe Burrow. I'm not even sure he was. And if he was, I don't know if he was a rotational piece. I don't know if he was a guy that was making noise then. I'm not sure. You can double check, but I know he ain't played for nothing recently. Michael, the people said, what do you think? 2 first-round picks, was that too steep for a edge rusher in this game when you can get an edge rusher in the draft? Is that too steep, Mike?
Well, I think it's all a matter of the outcome. It's hard to say right now. It's going to be about the outcome. This guy's like the white Myles Garrett, playing for a team that's not worth a shit and putting up great numbers and producing at an all-pro level year in, year out, though the franchise does nothing centered around winning. They should make the Browns and Ravens play. I mean, the Browns and the Raiders play every year in the fuck-up bowl, and to see which one of those organizations is going to fuck it up worse for 2 storied franchises that should never be in this predicament. Unfortunately, the Bengals didn't have let Hendrickson kind of go to free agency, or this would have been the conference with the greatest pass rushers on every fucking team. We're adding him because you got Watt up in Pittsburgh, you got Garrett in Cleveland. Now you got him with the Ravens, and you would have had, and you could still have, I guess, Hendrickson up in Cincinnati if he was to re-sign with the Bengals, though I don't think he will. That would have been a spectacular conference of pass rushers.
Yeah, Jason said he did play in 22 against the Bengals. He had six tackles and a sack, so he was effective. But he ain't did nothing in the last 4 years. Shit. He ain't did nothing in the last 4 years. He don't know what winning is like. But it's crazy work that Mike bring up the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett has a playoff win. There's a lot of pass rushers that's among the top that don't have playoff wins. He's been played in 2 playoffs in his career, and he got more playoff wins than T.J. Watt. I'm just going to throw that up there.
What year is he in?
He's in year 9, and he's got more playoff wins than T.J. Watt, who has never won a playoff game. And he's one of the elite pass rushers. And he's played in more playoff games in his career than the Atlanta Falcons have played.
So
during that time.
not during the last 9 years. That would not be true.
They got more
that would not
victories
be
in the playoffs than the Atlanta Falcons have. So let's go ahead and make sure we get that.
I would say that's not true.
That is true. Since he's been in the league, he got more playoff wins. Because y'all went to the Super Bowl the year that he got there. So y'all ain't been there in 10 years. So y'all ain't got no playoff wins.
So in 1 year.
Y'all have not been to the playoffs since y'all went to the Super Bowl. Y'all ain't been to the playoffs since y'all
so
had
in 1 year, this is what I'm saying. So
he was not there. What I'm trying to say. So y'all have not went up since y'all went to the Super Bowl. Y'all have not made it to the playoffs. We done made it twice. We done made it twice since y'all been to the Super Bowl.
Right. I want you to say that. I want you to say that one part one more time.
I said y'all have not won a playoff game since y'all been to the Super Bowl, which was years ago.
So why?
We done been to the playoffs twice since y'all haven't been. That's what I'm saying. So don't say.
And how many times
Atlanta
did you
should
get
be
to
right
the Super
there when they
Bowl?
talk about teams that can't get shit done because y'all ain't won shit.
And how many times did you even get to the Super Bowl?
Mike. Mike. You see how Mike tried to change it? See how Mike tried to change it? That ain't got nothing to do with it. You tried to throw Myles Garrett under the bus and say that he ain't did no winning.
No.
Have not. He done been to the playoffs twice, and y'all ain't been none. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't throw Myles Garrett under the bus. I said that Maxx Crosby was the white Myles Garrett playing for an organization that fucks it up more times than they get it right. And that's a true statement, not just in the last 9 years, but for the entirety of the Super Bowl era. The Browns have pretty much found a way to fuck it up.
I'm saying, Mike, and I give you that. What I'm saying is he got more playoff appearances than the Atlanta Falcons in his career. That's all I'm saying. So let's keep it moving, man. That's good stuff with Maxx Crosby. But this is crazy work, though. It's another move that was made, and everybody think this is just the move that's gonna save the Buffalo Bills, and they went and got DJ Moore, and I'm just like, I like DJ Moore as a number 3, but they talking about bringing this guy in like he's a number 1. So, what do you think about DJ Moore, who only had about 650 yards receiving this year? Like, he's gonna all of a sudden this is gonna take Josh Allen's career to the next level?
Well, it's an upgrade from what they had on the roster last year, Joel. You got to look at it like that, man. I mean, the young guy they drafted from Florida State, he hasn't done much. He had a lot of games that he didn't even play in, and no other wide receiver really showed up for Josh Allen. So it's an upgrade. I mean, it's like going from a 2022 Hyundai to a 2023. It's an upgrade. You know, it's got less miles on it. So yeah, I think it's gonna help help the quarterback out. I can see this working. I like DJ Moore. He's a good possession receiver. I think he's going to help the team. I'm not saying it's going to put them over the hump, but I think he's a nice player.
So you're saying they got less miles, but it still got the same 4-cylinder engine. That's the problem. But Michael, the people talk to me about DJ Moore going to the Bills, and now everybody talking about Josh Allen has no more excuses. Yes, the fuck he do. But talk to me, Mike.
I think we'll all say the same thing. You've got to upgrade at that situation. I mean, adding a 600-yard reception wide receiver to a room that, you know, looks like the Cleveland Browns receiving core.
Damn, Mike.
But anyway, no, I'm actually being serious on that, where, like, you don't have anybody elite out there. You got a kid who's disappointed when the Buffalo Bills drafted, what's the kid's last name? Is it Coleman, Jody?
Yeah, Keon Coleman.
Yeah, when they drafted him, they had him being slated as a number 1 future guy. I think that was one of the reasons why they got rid of Diggs and sent him on his way, expecting Coleman to be the replacement. That hasn't happened. So you got to do something. So getting an experienced guy, and then maybe if they draft a young guy to play with him, then he's got a mentor if you think that his work ethic is really good. So
I'm sorry.
So I see it as an upgrade. It's not the sexy deal that you want. I know you like the girls that walk in the club and they all 9s and 10s, and we all know that, Jody. But sometimes you got to take a hot 6 and go on about your business.
But hold on, Mike, man, listen, man. And now that I'm glad you brought up the girls coming in the club that's a 9 or 10 because his birthday is coming up. So I already know I got to get with you on the plans. Anyway, this is the thing. So they bring in DJ Moore, and DJ Moore is a solid receiver, but he fell to the back of the bus on the Chicago Bears wide receiver room. He was supposed to come in and be the number 1, 2 or 3 years ago when they acquired him from the Carolina Panthers. Now, everybody keep talking about how bad a season Keon Coleman had. He only had 200 yards less than DJ Moore on the season. Y'all act like DJ Moore just blew him out the water on productivity, even when Keon Coleman was missing games. I think that it wasn't the talent. I think that it was the disconnect with the coaching staff with Keon Coleman. He was a young guy. I think that if they get that right, now they got Joe Brady at the helm. He's the head coach. I don't think he was in the favor with Sean McDermott as the head coach. I think that Josh Allen is still only a second-year guy. Sometimes receivers take 2 to 3 to maybe 4 years to even get their footing in the league. DJ Moore is a decent receiver. Can he go back to being a 1,000-yard receiver? I don't know. Maybe with Josh Allen. But to sit up here and say that this is the answer to all answers for Josh Allen is not fair to Josh Allen. And me defending Josh Allen is crazy work because my thing is Josh Allen is a fantastic quarterback, but you can't keep putting scraps around him. You can't just say, okay, here's some kibbles and bits. Y'all got to really put some substance around him. And DJ Moore, if you bring in DJ Moore to be a second or third receiver, I'm all for it. But if you think DJ Moore is supposed to be the number 1, and then that's just supposed to take Buffalo right into the Super Bowl because of that productivity out of a number 1, it's not even fair. They have not had a number 1 since Stephon Diggs have left Buffalo, and I'm thinking they might need a reunion of sorts, maybe bringing Stephon Diggs back for at least 1 season. But nevertheless, man, DJ Moore is a solid player, but the way that his headlines are going up and everybody's saying it's going to be what Josh Allen needed. No, I mean he had a Stephon Diggs. He had Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs was an elite 100 reception each year type of receiver. And DJ Moore is not that guy. I'm not saying that DJ Moore is not good. It's just that's not DJ Moore's game. So
well, sometimes it's a numbers game, Joe. I mean, you got to look at the Chicago Bears. They've drafted a couple of young wide receivers the last couple of years that's been playing well. And they do, I know you're going to like this, Joey. They like throwing to the tight end a lot in that offense, just like Buffalo. And they like to run the ball a lot, which they don't get credit for. So, I mean, they're thinking, hey, we can save some money. We just signed this guy to a deal a few years ago. We can trade him to Buffalo. We get back some draft picks, and maybe these young guys will step up in his spot. I still think DJ's more a good wide receiver. I think he just kind of fell out of favor in Chicago a little bit. But I still think he's really good, though.
But, Mike, do you really think that this is the real true answer for Buffalo, or are they going to still be in the market to get them a number one, or are they going to be satisfied with DJ Moore?
Well, I would like to think before they made that move that they kicked the tires in Philadelphia to see if they couldn't get AJ Brown up in Philly.
Yeah,
I would like to believe that they kicked the tires on that. That wasn't going to work. And then they went ahead and got DJ Moore so that they could draft a receiver and have him operate under them and raise the professionalism in the room. Maybe Coleman needs a mentor in that room, and he's the guy that can show them how to be professional wide receivers. They also probably could sign Mike Evans, who looks like he's going to be a free agent. So it's all yet to play out just a little bit. I guess in the next couple of weeks, as we see movement happen, we may revisit this and try to figure out why they didn't do this or that this was the best move available.
Okay. Hey, Miss Glenn back in the building. What's going on? She said, good morning to the Against the Grain Sports fellas. Jason said DJ Moore as a number 2 or 3 is okay. They need guys that can take the top off the defense. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Jason, a possession receiver just can't. He got enough possession receivers. Secure is a pretty solid possession receiver that's not getting the credit. He had some decent moments with the Buffalo Bills. He said, now, Arthur Brown Jr. makes a ton of sense, A.J. Brown. But A.J. Brown, I don't think Philadelphia is parting ways because New England, they offered up a first and a third, and they said no. So I don't know what they're looking for A.J. Brown. But if you're not giving up a first and a third for A.J. Brown who's disgruntled, I don't think either he's going to stay there or – nobody's giving up no first and second. Definitely no 2 first-round picks for A.J. Brown. And then
I think they're looking for A.J. Brown just to shut up and play football and stop running his mouth so damn much. That's probably what they're looking for in Philly.
Hey, Jason said the Comans always need mentors. Now, this one right here was a blockbuster of blockbuster deals right here. Michael, the People's Champ, Trent McDuffie, the all-pro cornerback for the Kansas City Chiefs, is traded away to the Rams for a first-rounder this year and I believe a third-rounder next year or something. I know it's a first-rounder this year, the 29th pick. They couldn't sign him, and they know the cornerback market was going to be crazy for Trent McDuffie. He would have wanted what Derek Stingley Jr. had just asked for. Devin Witherspoon is up for contract. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs said, hey, we can't afford – if we're trying to get back to the Super Bowl, we can't afford to pay him what the market and what his value is. Let's trade him away and see if we can get another Trent McDuffie because they got Trent McDuffie with a later round pick in the first round a couple years ago. Michael, the people saying, what do you like about this move for both teams? The Rams acquiring an all-pro cornerback, and then now the Kansas City Chiefs have more draft picks than they had in the last 20 years in this upcoming draft.
Well, the Rams are fixated on trying to win another Super Bowl. That's evident by this move. They were close this year. They feel like now is the time. Matthew Stafford's not getting any younger, and so the time is now for them. Kansas City, on the other hand, they expect to get their general back and that they will be able to put up more points and that no one corner is going to stop their show by putting that much money into a corner when they can structure their team differently. And this draft is a good draft for corners, secondary guys. So, maybe they're going to take a corner with the first pick that they have in the first round to shore that up, which wouldn't be a bad move. Because
Now they got 2 first-round picks, Mike.
Yeah, so you got to be mindful of your salary cap, and somebody's got, you can't pay everyone, so somebody's got to go.
Okay. Hey, my man King Minks in the building all the way from Memphis, Tennessee, man, showing the support as he always do, man. Big shout out to my guy, man. Big shout out, friend of the show, a friend of the family of Against the Grain Sports. Appreciate you, big dog. So on sports, talk to me, man. Trent McDuffie, man. What did you feel about this? I mean, this was kind of a blockbuster deal. I think it's an even deal to me in a certain sense. But what do you think that this does for the Rams, and what does this do for Kansas City?
I'm gonna piggyback on what Mike said. The Rams, they've always had a formula of winning, and they win now. They don't give a damn about no draft picks. They'll trade everybody, trade all the draft picks. They get the players on the roster to win the Super Bowl. They just did that a few years ago when they beat Rays Bengals. So I'm pretty sure they have the same mind state right now. Okay, we got an old quarterback. Matthew Stafford's on his last leg. So they figured that our weakness on defense was secondary, and Trent McDuffie, he'll definitely lock that up. So I think it's a great win for both teams. It's Kansas City. That then gets us some younger cornerbacks, bring them in there cheaper because, in the NFL, you can't keep everybody. I mean, it is what it is. You have all these great players, but somebody's going to be the odd man out because of the salary cap. And like Mike said, he's the guy that's going to be the odd man out in Kansas City. If they hit on those draft picks, and they'll be just fine as long as they get Jody's favorite light-skinned quarterback back on the roster before Halloween, maybe. I mean, he did tear all his ligaments in his knee. We'll see when he comes back. We got another guy that tore some ligaments, and he'll already back. We'll see if the other light-skinned brother can do the same thing. Yeah, baby.
Hey, couple of my favorite guys. But no, they said he should be ready. According to reports that he's on track to be ready for week 1. We don't know how that. Yeah, they said he should be ready for the opener. We will see. Of course, we will definitely see. Jason the Hefty Levy said, I think the Chiefs look at the tackle at Miami and another receiver with the Rams pick.
They need a running back too.
But I think that means they're going to go after, to me, Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker will be perfect fit in Kansas City because it seems like Seattle is trying to play the field. They trying to do the Saquon Barkley with Kenneth Walker. Go out there and see what you can get, like nobody else gonna want him. But this is my thing, guys, with the Trent McDuffie thing. Trent McDuffie to the Rams. This is a round formula for success. We seen when they went and got Jalen Ramsey a couple years ago. Matter of fact, in the last, I think 7 drafts, they only got 1 first round pick out of that. Everything else was traded, and the only person they picked in the first round was Jared Versus. So they went and got all pros and everything. They had the Jacksonville Jaguars traded him away, Matthew Stafford. When they gave the Lions, that's why the Lions are loaded right now because the Lions used one of those picks to be Jahmyr Gibbs. So it's like the Rams like, fuck it, we gonna go ahead and get to it. Yeah. And the Kansas City Chiefs said we gonna get to it as well. We had a bad year this year. This is the first year we ain't been in the Super Bowl or the playoffs or the AFC Championship in 7 years. We got to do something. And Trent McDuffie, even with you on our roster, we still didn't make the playoffs this year. I think Trent McDuffie is outstanding corner, one of my favorite corners in the league. I think he's a top 5 talent. But I think that the way the Kansas City plays and Spagnolia's defense, you can kind of get some other guys and kind of make them better corners. But it's all going to be predicated on what they can do up front with their front 4 and getting pressure. And I told y'all, Chris Jones is not the same Chris Jones that he has been because he's getting a little long in the tooth. It ain't nothing to do with him. I just think that he's getting long in the tooth. The NFL is undefeated with the older guys. They're undefeated. I can really see them moving forward from Chris Jones. I can see that be the next casualty on the Kansas City Chiefs, man. He makes a ton of money. I can see him being a casualty on that team, but that's just me talking out of line. I just want Kansas City. I'm sorry. I just want Patrick Mahomes.
We know that's your second team. You trying to front like it ain't. We already know. I just want the Chiefs to win.
I just
We,
want I want Patrick Mahomes to be successful. Go ahead, Mike.
we know you want Patrick Mahomes to be successful. We know the other light skinned guy that I'm
Run
sure
down,
we're gonna
hey
talk about.
Mike, run down the roster again. Run down the roster. Joey's roster, like in.
Well, I was just about to ask him, is Al B. Sure releasing an album anytime soon?
Hey,
Right.
he with Linnell.
You
That's
know,
crazy work. I'm like,
he had Jody had a choice between Keith Sweat and Al B. Sure. You know what direction he went. Team light skin all day. So we'll just see how this goes. So, you know, he's obsessed with Christopher Williams and all of those.
Joe, so you said Joey's not a big People Bryson guy. He's not a big.
hold
No.
on,
Hey,
hold
he
on,
won't even listen to Teddy P.
hold on. Soul and Mike and Jason, my little brother, my older brother is lighter than those guys. My oldest brother is Jayson Tatum's complexion. Like
Maybe that's why you love light skinned dudes.
yeah,
I know
like
you
my
love your
brother.
brothers, so.
Like just because I'm dark skinned, my brother is high yellow. Jason, tell him, man. our older
Hey,
brother.
hey, Jody, Drake or Kendrick? Which one?
Drake.
see,
What? What? I mean.
So you could have even done it. Jody was on Prince back in the day because
Yes.
the original Mike was too dark for him. He probably like bad Mike, you know.
Not the white Mike.
Bad album. He didn't like Off the Wall Mike at all.
Hey, Prince, yeah, because my sister, my older sister, she loved Prince. So I heard Prince every day in her room. Like, dude, like, so I learned Prince songs subconsciously by walking past her room.
Hey, so this guy used to watch A Different World for Ron, not Dwayne.
Hey, y'all crazy. King Mink said, we all know your favorite two teams all time. All right, so I got you. King Mink, I heard dropping. He always being shady too. Jay said Jody likes any team that Marty Schottenheimer coached.
Marty.
Good Lord.
And then King Mink said Linnell must got that wop because gray head for Al be sure to be with her. That's crazy work, man. Hey, I'll be sure, man. That's a legend. But we got another acquisition that was made. So on sport, David Montgomery goes to the Houston Texans. This was a I don't think David Montgomery was expecting this. But this is a good move. He gets to be the sole lead running back for a playoff caliber team, a team that didn't have a running back over 600 yards total for the season. So what does this do for the Houston Texans looking forward with that great defense?
I think he wanted out of Detroit. He figures I'm damn near 30. I only got a couple more prime years, so I want to get my numbers up, and maybe Jody can get him into the Hall of Fame in a couple of years. So he know he's not going to do that in the backup role in Detroit. So if he goes there to Houston, which I still don't know what I like to move somewhat, I still don't know what Houston's doing. They traded another offensive lineman. Do they not know how to draft offensive linemen? They pick them, then they trade them right away. They traded 2 offensive linemen this year already. So I don't know what they're doing. So this cannot help the quarterback by switching out offensive linemen every single offseason. Did the same thing last year. I guess if they figure out the offensive line, this definitely be an upgrade for David Montgomery because maybe, and my man, your other light-skinned brother, CJ Stroud, got a haircut. So maybe those braids was in his eyes. That's why he kept throwing all them interceptions. Hey, but listen, I like the move for Houston though.
Hey, it's crazy because they did. You're right. They just traded Howard to the Cleveland Browns. So we decided to start.
Why they keep trading all these damn linemen? It's weird.
And they just drafted him, I believe, 3 or 4 years ago. So it ain't like, and he was productive. That was the crazy thing. It wasn't like he was a bum. And Cleveland Browns was able to get him for a steal. I think we gave him like a 5th round pick out there. So yeah. The King Mink said Jody only eat white pieces of chicken and don't like dark meat. That's crazy. That's crazy work. They said coolest light-skinned quarterback. Hey, Michael, the people saying, what do you think about this? David Montgomery getting acquired and bringing him up to the Houston Texans to solidify their ground game. They already got a hellified defense, and maybe that can get CJ Stroud back on track.
So I think the running back they had this year, Maxx, I believe it was, kind of emerged a little bit. And I think they
Did he freeze? I think he froze up.
Oh, he froze. So I know he was talking about Marks,
Yeah.
the running back, but I think that the taste that the Houston Texans fans have with him is that he fumbled, even though CJ Stroud's had a horrific game of all those picks he threw, but they were still in the game in the red zone and had an opportunity to cut the lead to, I think, to like a 3 point lead. And remember, Marks fumbled. So we'll wait for Mike to get back. He just had a little technical difficulty.
It's gonna be interesting, Jody. I mean, people. I was listening to Shannon Sharp there. He knows more football. He played forever. And he was talking about people think that their teams are going to be the same as they were last year because people assume automatically, oh, Houston had a great defense last year. That don't mean that shit's going to happen again this year. You assume their defense is going to be just as strong as powerful as next year, but you just sometimes chemistry is not there as it was the year before. So you can't just be directly relying on that defense to be as dominant because maybe their defense might slack off and that offense might need to pick up some of that slack this coming up season.
That's very true, but the defense is not going to fall off the cliff. You know what I mean? I think some defenses, unless they lose a lot of players, we haven't seen anybody get hurt, of course, yet. We haven't seen anybody get traded away off of that defense. So I'm not saying they're going to have the same caliber of defense that they had last year, but I can say that they went and extended Daniel Hunter, so that's a good sign, right?
Yeah,
right there, extending him, and we know about Will Anderson Jr. We know how much he's a monster. They signed Derek Stingley. They got Peachtree. They got some good pieces down there. Michael, the people said, continue your thought on Montgomery to the Texans.
So I think that the Texans are looking without Mixon or knowing when Mixon will return. Or
he got cut. They released him.
Okay. Whatever happened to him anyway? What happened to him, man?
He got hurt this year, and then and I guess he got healthy and they released him. But I think they're going to do what most teams would try to do: have two running backs. Montgomery gets a little bit better chance to maybe be the lead dog and have the other guy be more of his offset. But that's what they're trying to do. But is it going to matter if you don't have an offensive line? I mean, that's the question that they've got to ask themselves. I mean, shit, the only running back I ever seen be able to do anything with no offensive line was Barry Sanders. And I don't see any of these guys as that. Though Lomas Brown was on that line, I'm pretty sure that's where we're going to go with this. But their offensive line wasn't known for being that dominant, and that there were years where he just made, chicken salad out of what. But neither one of these guys are that. So unless they get some guys up front that can move human bodies, then I don't know how much it matters.
I roll my eyes because I'm just so sick of people saying Detroit didn't have an offensive line. The reason why they didn't have an offensive line because they ran a run and shoot. They didn't even have fucking tight ends or fullbacks on their roster. That means a lot. Offensive line is good, but if you ain't got a tight ends or you don't have fullbacks on your roster, Mike, you know this, and teams, it ain't like they were going against 8-man boxes. They weren't going against 8-man boxes because they had too many receivers on the field. So my thing is to say that Detroit didn't have an offensive line, of course, and have Lomas Brown, who should be a Hall of Famer, on the offensive line. I just think people just say stuff just because that's what the media tell them to say. No, that's not. I'm not saying you, Mike. I'm not direct this toward you. I hear this a lot. Well, Emmitt Smith had the offensive line and Barry Sanders didn't. How do you figure? First of all, Barry Sanders didn't have a fullback. He never had a Daryl Johnson. He never had a Jay Novacek that played the tight end position and helped him like that. They like that's like the Houston. That was like Houston. Houston didn't even have a fullback or tight end on the roster. So that means that's an extension of your offensive line, but to say that Barry Sanders just didn't have offensive line, I just don't agree with that. That's
they did not run and shoot the whole time he was there. They ran and shoot part of the time he was there, and you would be correct in that. And Barry Sanders also hurt his linemen because what people don't realize is that the person who has the most negative yards as a running back is also Barry Sanders. So when I hear this argument that he's the greatest running back of all time, I always bristle at that because I'm like, y'all say this guy's the greatest running back of all time, but he leads the league in negative rushing yards because he didn't always run to where the hole was. He'd be trying to create and do the extra stuff. But overall, I think some of that was because early in his career, he just didn't have the offensive line. And a lot of his rushing yards, Jody, came out of that run and shoot system where it was more wide open, more defenses weren't prepared for that the way they are now. And so he did thrive under that as well, but he was great.
So Barry's not the best ever. Barry's not the GOAT of running backs. Is that what we're saying?
That's what I would tell you, but
wow, I'm not about to. That's a whole conversation because I mean, the evidence, even with him having negative yard, he still should have went over 200. He should have went over 20,000 yards rushing for his career if he wanted to. He decided not to. But anyway, this move right here. Oh, there. Hey, what's up, Paul? He said, Paul back in the building with the extra point. Jason said they had Scott Mitchell and Eric Kramer and Rodney Peete. No doubt, Jason. But my thing with David Montgomery, sometimes I think running backs benefit from having a counterpart that can change the pace and not take all the carries. Now he's going to be the guy that's going to take probably 80% of the carries, 85% of the carries if he's healthy. And let's see how he responds, because we got to remember when he played for the Bears, people forget that he played for the Bears. And when he was the lead running back, he didn't put up the numbers. He put up better numbers when he got Gibbs and was able to have it where he was a change of pace, whether he came in as a starter, as a sledgehammer, or when he came in late in games after they were tired of trying to chase Gibbs around. Then now they got to tackle him. This is the whole Tony Pollard. Remember when they had Tony Pollard in Dallas, and you still had Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas, and Tony Pollard looked fantastic. He was averaging down there 6 yards a carry, but when Elliott left, you saw the struggles of Tony Pollard. And this is going to be a situation. I don't know if this is going to happen for David Montgomery, because it's not like he's never been a lead guy. He's been a lead guy. Didn't he play for Buffalo at one point in time, if I'm not sure? Or I know he played for the Bears, but
I think it was the Bears, I think.
Yeah, I know he played for the Bears, and it's crazy work. And when he was a lead guy, they traded him or they let him go, whatever it was. So let's see what this is all about. Running backs. I don't know if I would have traded for him with with the draft coming up and Kenneth Walker being a free agent. Maybe I would have went after Kenneth Walker, a proven Super Bowl MVP. But I guess they said this was the right move to do, and let's see if this works and pays dividends for the Houston Texans.
Jody, so are you calling this brother David Montgomery the DJ Moore of running backs? That's what it sounds like to me. That you're saying he give you DJ Moore vibes because you don't like DJ Moore in Buffalo. It's obvious you don't like David Montgomery in H-Town. We got to bring up a light-skinned running back. We can make you happy, man. We got to find one out there. There ain't many of them out there.
Hey, y'all got to go get Arian Foster and I'll be happy.
And in what world are we living in where running backs are more productive with less touches? This is the biggest fallacy of all that I've seen in modern football. Because all of your great running backs, they didn't have a sidekick to come in and run the ball for them. No, they ran the ball multiple carries because running backs do this thing that they get lathered up. They get the feel for the game. And when they get to carry 12 to 20 is usually when they excel. As the other team is getting worn down, they know where the holes are going to be. They run this play. They don't hit this, that, or the other. And I think that the lack of productivity with running backs these days is because they don't get the number of carries that are requisite for great running backs. Derrick Henry gets the majority of his carries, right? He's getting that. He's getting the more traditional carries, but a lot of these guys are not.
But Mike, I get what you're saying, but this is the thing you talk about. Back in the day, you had the Walter Paytons that wanted the ball 20, 25 times. But nowadays, the defenses are more complex, and you have different packages defensively that they bring in, and you have to tire them out. You know, if you run with a nickel package, that means you got an extra defensive back in the game. That means if I'm a running back, I can't wait to see that extra defensive back in the game. I'd rather see him in the game than an extra D tackle in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why I think these guys, spelling these guys, they can come in and they got more home run abilities. So they get a chance to hit that home run if you're more tired or you got the wrong personnel on the field. And I think that's, I think it's a game of chess that they're playing out there with the change in the pace of backs. sometimes you seen it, Mike. You seen it. So it's been a lot of guys that when they get the lead role, they just don't produce like we think they should. So you seen it before.
Yeah, and we'll see what Gibbs does. Now he's the lead dog for sure. He already was, but now he's gonna get the bulk of the carries, even more so than he did with David Montgomery. He don't look over there. David Montgomery won't be there to spell him in the third quarter anymore. We'll see how he deals with that also.
Yeah, I don't want to see the bare fronts. I don't want to see the bare. I don't want to see 5 down linemen. No, I need to see some defense. I need to see 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and I want to see 6 defensive backs. That's what I want to see if I'm a running back. I want to see that because I'm gonna tear the holes in that motherfucker. Pause.
Whoa.
Pause.
Okay.
What he just was talking
Wesley Pipes over here. You hear
so
Wesley Pipes talking?
he was just talking about an 8-man box. We let that just go. We didn't say nothing about the 8 men in the box, and I'm just like,
that's real freaky.
Nasty. Hey. That's called gangbang, but we won't discuss that.
I thought it was a Diddy party though. Like as long as they bring
But what I will say is this: is that I think what I would want to do as a GM, and I do think that the Lions will get another back to pair with Gibbs. I don't think they're looking at increasing Gibbs' workload. They're just going to get another probably cheaper running back to be his running mate to keep that disparity. But I like using the running back in the passing game and dispersing the ball to them that way, as you can with Gibbs or you can with McCaffrey, how the Niners used to do with Roger Craig. I mean, that is the modern running back that can get the requisite touches, because I think what they did was they looked at the running back position, saw that most running backs don't last more than 4 years. So they started trying to decrease the workload, increase the backs. But what you really did was you cut down the productivity of the backs, because anybody that's ever played running back knows that they really don't get going till round about carry number 8 to 12. And that you're not going to have 100 yards off of 12 carries. That's just not likely going to happen in the NFL. You're only going to get to 100 yards round about carry 18 to 25.
Well, let me ask you this real quick before we get to the next. So we got to talk about the players that were released. I'm gonna go to you. So, like Mike just made mention, he said he liked to use the running backs in the passing game. Do you want a design pass for that running back, or more of a check down? What is more effective for a running back that you think, a design pass play for the running back, or just a check down for a running back?
It depends on how you run your offense. I would probably say a design.
Okay. Why?
I would say some of these running backs, Jody, nowadays, they're damn near wide receivers. Gibbs can play wide receiver. They've already talked about Jeremiah Love. He's got wide receiver skills. So some of those guys have that already in their bag. So I would say if you're that type of running back, I would say design pass plays would be great for some of those type guys.
Okay, Mike, what do you think? What you said, using the running backs in the passing game, you say design pass plays for these running backs where they actual routes, or they may be the second or third option on a passing, or a check down for a running back? Which is more effective for a running back out of the passing game?
I don't know that either is more effective, because typically if you got a really elite play caller, they're going to do a little bit of both. Because if you got a guy like Gibbs, you definitely got some routes that you want him to be the primary target, because you're going to create mismatches and he would be the number one, right? Or you're going to run the back out the backfield, run the screen, rush comes, and you're dumping it to the back, and lineman out front, get behind and get downfield. Or your quarterback got all these routes happening or whatnot, and he's got his check down. So I don't think, from a coach's standpoint, I can't say that one is more effective than the other, because if you got the right back, then it's all on the table. If you got a back that can't catch, then he can't be out there. And we all seen them dudes that can tote the rock, but you throw it to that motherfucker, and he looked like he should be playing DB if he wasn't good at running back.
Yeah, me, I don't necessarily really like design pass plays for the running back, because first of all, you're a running back, not a receiving back. If you want to be a receiver, then be a receiver. And I think when you constantly put them in routes, you take away their effectiveness, especially if you don't give them the ball and they out there. Now you got to exchange them out the game. I think checkdowns to me are more efficient for running backs because they don't have to run long distances. They don't normally got to go against, double coverage or anything like that. They're able to catch the ball, check down. Sometimes that could be a big play, especially if the routes are down the field and every defensive back then turned their back. He can turn that little check down into a 15-yard first down. So I'm all about really just being running backs that have check down opportunities rather than them running routes, because I like running backs that are versatile, but at your primary job is to be a fucking running back, not a receiver. So I'd rather them be an option as a check down because I want to give my explosive players outside the numbers an opportunity to get the ball more than getting the ball to the running back. That's just my
but you got to figure out the offense, Jody. If you look at a guy like Christian McCaffrey, he was their most explosive player on offense. So you want to have that threat in your offense. If you line Christian McCaffrey out, you cannot just put any old player on him. You might say, you know what, shit, we might want to put damn near our best corner on this guy because what he can do outside of him, he can run routes like a fucking wide receiver. So you got to think about that also.
Yeah, but if he runs the routes like a receiver, he's going to also be tired like a wide receiver.
That's why we have Pelotons to stay in shape, baby.
Hey, but let's talk about this. So we got NFL players, notable NFL players that was released this past week or will be getting released when they're allowed to. We got the Houston Texans releasing running back Joe Mixon, the Vegas Raiders releasing quarterback Geno Smith, the New England Patriots releasing wide receiver Stephon Diggs, and the Arizona Cardinals releasing quarterback Kyler Murray. What are, out of all those guys on the list, who would you pick that can still be able to pick up and have a serviceable season next year?
I would say if you look at these players here, I mean, a starting quarterback, I would have to go Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray can get I hope he still loves football. We don't know. We haven't seen him in quite some time. We know he likes to play video games, but Arizona did a great job of putting dirt on his name. We don't know how much of that's true, what's not true. But we do know a starting quarterback is very important in this league. So if he can get to the right situation, possibly Minnesota, I can see him being the big difference maker out of all these players we see on this list.
Okay. Mike, what do you think out of these players that just been released, who can pick up immediately with a new team and have a good season? We won't even blink twice.
Give me the players again.
Joe Mixon, Geno Smith, Stephon Diggs, and Kyler Murray.
I think I'm going to start with the quarterback, Kyler Murray. I think if Kyler Murray were to go to the Atlanta Falcons, that might be an opportunity for him to win a starting job, have more weapons than he's ever had in Arizona, and give Michael Penix an opportunity to heal and compete for the job when he gets back. That could be significant. And then Stephon Diggs, I think, minus the off-field bullshit that comes along with him, I think the Commanders would be a good fit for him to give the young quarterback somebody to throw to, although you probably have to try to keep him away from his mom because I'm sure Stephon Diggs will try to go that route. He's supposed to be running a drag and he's running the flag. But, but I think he would be my next guy because you can put Stephon Diggs in several different places and have an immediate impact in the passing game for them. What if he went to Chicago to replace Moore? I mean, that could be fantastic. So those are the two guys at the top end for me. I think Geno Smith just be a serviceable backup quarterback for somebody. I just think that's where he is in his career. I don't see a franchise that is at this point looking to make him their franchise guy. So,
okay. King Mink said Murray should go to the Vikings. He said if he signed Diggs, I have his contract. You cannot get anyone pregnant except for he said especially on the staff. What if the staff is all men? Anyway, it's crazy work.
No babies coming out of there.
It may be. I don't know. There's some new shit going on.
We got a lot of modern medicine. I don't think they come up with that yet.
I'm gonna go Stephon Diggs, but Stephon Diggs is 32 years of age. He did finally get to the promised land, getting to the Super Bowl. It's crazy he got there before Josh Allen got there. But I would like to see a reunion of him going back to Buffalo. I mean, I think they can mend their differences that they had for at least one season. We know Josh Allen had his best seasons, even though he won the MVP. He had his best season statistically with Stephon Diggs at the wide receiver position. He still caught 4,000 yards. People, let's not forget that Stephon Diggs was very a good productivity with the young quarterback Drake May. He has went to multiple teams and made multiple quarterbacks better. He did it with Drake May just recently. He did it with Josh Allen. He did it with Case Keenum. He did it with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. So these are situations where I think Stephon Diggs, I think now he's going to be out of the limelight. I think if he goes to any team now, there's no Carly B. So I think that he's going to go and be focused strictly on football. I don't care where he goes. People say, don't send him to Miami. Man, I don't give a fuck. Send that motherfucker where he can be productive with a quarterback. I like Buffalo being one of the top teams on the list. Another team that's probably going to pop up is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they choose to bring Aaron Rodgers back, maybe he can go give some help to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, the Cleveland Browns should be in the market of trying to get any type of fucking receiver in their wide receiver room. And now that Deshaun Watson has went in and restructured his deal in Cleveland to open up some cap space, so now they can start getting some more free agents in there. If I'm Deshaun Watson, I ain't doing it because they're going to fuck around and cut you. You're going to restructure, they're going to cut your ass. Yeah. Hey, listen, man. And I'm just speaking from a personal perspective. Everybody talk about get your bag. Listen, man, the Cleveland Browns made their decision to sign him at quarterback, and we got to live with it. I wouldn't restructure shit. And I'm a Browns fan. Shit. I mean, he got hurt. He didn't do what we thought he was going to do. Fuck it.
Hey, Jody, I'm a little surprised that Stephon Diggs didn't work out long-term in New England. I mean, they have so much in common. The Patriots like to cheat. Stephon Diggs like to cheat. You would think they'd be a perfect marriage, but I guess too much cheating going on, and so I guess that's why they had to break up.
Okay, they said Chappie said Arizona Wildcats are number one team in America. I can't. Them against Duke would be amazing matchup between a lot of young studs, Boozer versus Peak and those guys over there. That'd be great to see. So I can't wait. March Madness is gonna be crazy work. But yeah, that's the list that we got for that. Matter of fact, that is it for our NFL edition. And we're gonna go over to the NBA. And the story of the day, guys, was the return of Jayson Tatum. He was able to come back for 15 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. He started off really slow, 0 for 6 shooting, but he still, only played 27 minutes. He was out there. And most importantly, they beat the Dallas Mavericks. So, of course, what did you think when you seen Jayson Tatum only 10 months after tearing his Achilles, being able to come back and play basketball at this level?
Very impressed. I mean, modern medicine has really come a long ways. For him to play in an NBA game and put up that many minutes and have a really effective basketball game, I'm very impressed. And we'll see how it is long term. The season is damn near over. We'll see how he does in the playoffs. But very impressive for him to come back. We never thought we'd see a day. He basically came back in 1 calendar year. We never thought we'd see that with that type of injury. Maybe if they weren't good this year, we thought Boston was going to drop off. Maybe he wouldn't have come back. But since they have a chance to make another run at the championship, the light-skinned assassin is back. One of the light-skinned assassins that Joey likes.
I'm just saying, he's just a 4-time All-NBA.
He's very good. He's very good.
5-time All-NBA.
They need each other. I mean, Jaylen Brown is a great player as well. But in order for them to win the championship, they're going to need both of those players, I think.
No doubt. Michael, the people saying, what did you think when you seen Jayson Tatum back on the court?
So this is going to be the nicest thing I say about somebody from Puke University. And that for him individually as a human being, I'm glad that he's back on the court. Like Sol talked about for modern medicine, it's a miracle to see these guys coming back within 10 months, less than 12 months. You're back on the court playing basketball when this used to be like 18 months, almost a 2-year procedure to even attempt to come back. And you weren't going to have the same athletic ability as Dominique Wilkins, how that went once that happened to him. Now, that being said, getting to the meat and potatoes of this conversation, it is always great in Gotham when Robin shows up to help Batman. And so this was idea. Jaylen Brown, a contender for this year's league MVP, has kept Boston afloat at the number 2 spot in the East. And he more than likely welcomes Tatum's presence back to help them get to a championship. I do think they become a championship caliber team with him, but it's always good in Gotham when Batman has Robin at his side.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Jayson Tatum is Batman. But anyway, this is the thing. I think that Jayson Tatum back takes a ton of pressure off of so many people in that rotation. He makes the game easier for Derek White. He makes the game. What I didn't like is Vucevic got hurt. He's out for a month. That you get Jayson Tatum back and you lose Vucevic, who was playing outstanding basketball off the bench. The trade they made, he was the big fella they brought over from Chicago, and I think he broke his ring finger, so he's going to be out for at least a month. So he won't be back to probably the last week of the season, I believe. But nevertheless, man, I think that Jayson Tatum coming back, he becomes their primary ball handler, because that's something that Jaylen Brown didn't really want to do. Jaylen Brown did not want to be a creator for others. He just wanted to be a downhill scorer, which I believe that's what he is. And that's normally what the secondary players are, the downhill scorer. Jayson Tatum is the guy that's going to be the primary ball handler, and he can also be the primary scorer if necessary. So now Jaylen Brown can go back to his unique role of being a downhill, not having to get anybody else in the game. He was forced to get people in the game this year because Jayson Tatum wasn't there. I think that both of these guys complement each other perfectly in that situation. Jayson Tatum shot the ball really well last night. I didn't think that was one thing that after he started off 0-6, he ended up heating up. But that's one of the things when you're a jump shooter or you're a basketball player, you look to see if your legs are there. It looked like he's in decent condition. He was breathing heavily, but he played 27 minutes. He played more minutes than some of the dudes that be doing load management that have been playing all year. You know, he played 27 minutes. And I think if the game would have been a little bit closer, he would have played a couple more minutes. Let's take our hat off to Joe Mazzulla, though. Can we take our hat off to Joe Mazzulla, the way he was able to integrate Jayson Tatum back into that offense, and it looked seamless. It looked like he didn't bring him off the bench. They didn't do what Wemby's doing. I mean, everybody got their own style of coaching. But let's take our hat off to Joe Mazzulla. Let's take our hat off to Jaylen Brown to be able to accept the lead guy coming back.
Hey, Jody, perfect situation to bring him back. And he bring him back against a team that's clearly tanking. We're trying to get the top 3 pick in the draft. So winning is not on our menu right now. We're trying to lose games. So this is a home game for Boston. Perfect. We'll see what he does. I think he's going to play well. I'll see what he does when he plays some of the better teams in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I like the fact that he played pretty good defense on Cooper Flag, though. He was matched up a couple times with him. I seen that he forced him into some difficult shots. So, Mike, your final thought on this situation?
Well, I understand trolling at the highest level. And so I'm not going to fall for the bait today. There's only one MVP of any sort on this organization. There's only one guy up for this year's MVP, and we all know who that is. So the light-skinned assassin can fall in line with where his daddy takes him, because he's along for the ride. This is daddy's ship this year, and he is only a cog in the wheel. He is not the wheel, and he hasn't been the wheel, because again, there's only one MVP of any sort on this team, and we all know who that is.
Hey, so you got siblings, right? You got a sister, right? and Mike, I know you got a brother, and you know when Mama say, "Hey, take that meat out the freezer," because she gonna cook when she get home, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
So that's what the Boston Celtics said. Take the meat out the freezer, and we're gonna let Jayson Tatum cook it when he get home. That's how you know who's the big dog, because they knew that this is a prime opportunity for the Boston Celtics to win a championship, and we can't do it without Jayson Tatum. We
So
can't do it without Jayson Tatum. If Jayson Tatum ain't there, we can't do it.
Can I ask all the question?
Yes, sir.
When your wife calls home and tells children to take the meat out the freezer to make sure that it's prepared because she's gonna come home and cook that meal.
Yeah.
Is she cooking for herself or is she cooking for daddy to come home? Because when daddy comes home,
that would be the man that paid for the. I'll get the big.
See, when daddy come home, everything needs to be in order. So I just put.
But that's the thing, Mike.
You know.
Jayson Tatum is coming home. You're right, because Jaylen Brown been there. Take the meat out, take it out the freezer, because Jayson Tatum is about to eat.
You can't make Mr. Mom daddy. Mr. Mom is momming, and daddy has been working hard all season long. So you come on in the house, take your shoes off, get barefoot, and cook this meat, because daddy is hungry.
Yo,
cook this meat.
Yeah.
Notice I said barefoot. God damn it.
Hey, but now, all jokes aside, man, I think that this is very good for the Boston Celtics, man.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why people like, well, he should have waited a year. You should listen, man. You don't have a lot of opportunities when it comes to this here professional NBA, NFL, baseball, track and field. You don't have. People keep thinking you got tomorrow. I want y'all to ask that same question to Dan Marino when he went to Super Bowl in his second year. Oh, you'll be back. Did he ever get back? So,
no, sir. Never
y'all
got back.
Strike when the iron is hot. If you got an opportunity to seize any moment, you need to seize it right now. That's not just in sports. That's in life. Everybody keep thinking, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. No, y'all need to do the shit that you can do today to day. I'm a firm believer in sense of urgency, and I see Boston and Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Joe Mazzulla and all those guys in that organization say, look, we got to win now, because we got Boozer coming. we got the Banshee coming. We got what's the Kingston Fleming's coming. And I'm just saying that they got Caleb Wilson coming. Like, y'all got stars coming. You got Darren Peterson. Y'all better start winning now. Wemby is playing out of his fucking mind. This dude hit a step back three. I'm like, this nigga looks so fluent. It's getting scary. And I'm like, y'all think that y'all just gonna win a championship year in and year out? Y'all better start striking when the iron is fucking hot. And I mean that. That's why I think Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, I think they're good friends. I think they got together like, look, man, I need you. You need me. Shit, we need Derek White. We need Vucevic. We need all these young guys that start to play. And we got to try to win now, because Cade Cunningham is coming. Paul.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham is coming. Look at James Harden might actually get it right in Cleveland. Embiid might actually play in the fucking playoffs. Like, we don't have time to fucking play. Let's try to win this championship if we can right now.
Not only that, his the whatever RoboCop parts they put in his leg is probably stronger than what was in there before. He probably just got to get his stamina up. That's probably going to be the key to this. He probably won't have any issues with his leg. They'll probably rest him here and there because the playoffs is what's important here. But he'll probably be just fine.
Hey, that's one thing a lady ain't got to tell me to get my stamina up. I'm just gonna...
Doesn't take a lot of stamina for what I do.
You said he said he get to it.
Mike said, Mike, you take short breaths, Mike. Is that what you said, dog?
Hey, Mike said, you know what I came here to do, man. What are we talking, man? You know what I came here to do. I don't act like it. Hey, but let's get to these college games today, man. We got a lot of bubbles that could be burst today. We got the last official day of the season is tomorrow, actually, for the regular season for college basketball. And then we get into one of the best weeks of all the sports, and we talk about championship week starts Monday. We already seen some of the championship weeks for like the Horizon League. They already started. Women's college basketball have already started their tournament week. Their championship week, but we can't get into championship week without getting some of these guys that could potentially be on the bubble. So I got a couple games. We got number 5 Florida at 24-6, who are the returning champs, who had came out of nowhere to be one of the best teams in college basketball. When we thought, man, at one point in time they were out of the top 25, I believe, and now they're up to number 5 in the country, and they are flirting with a number 1 seed. So they're going against the Kentucky Wildcats at 19-11. They do have 10 wins in the SEC. I think they 10-7 in the SEC. But there's only so many teams that's going to get in the SEC. If they, what are the possibilities of Kentucky not making the tournament this year? So
very likely. But you guys ever seen a possum walking down the street? Possum normally minds his business. Well, if you corner that motherfucker, he will attack, and I think that's what Kentucky's going to get right now. Kentucky's going to give everything they got because they know if they don't win out and make if they can win and beat the number 5 team in the country, they got a shot at making the tournament. So Florida also on the other end, they want to keep winning. Like you said, Joe, they want to try to get a 1 seed, but I don't know. I think Kentucky might get that win today.
Okay, Michael, the people saying, what do you think about this number 5 Florida Gators? Returning champs. They don't get treated as they're the returning champs, so they don't get treated like that. They're going against Kentucky, going up to Rump Arena, 19-11. But if they lose this game, 19-12 does not look good for the committee, especially if they don't get any wins in the SEC tournament. What do you think are the possibilities of Kentucky not getting in the tournament?
They're higher than they've ever been. Not ever been, but right now it doesn't look to me like Kentucky's a tournament-bound team. I don't have them winning today against Florida, so that's going to be the 12th loss. They may have some work to do in the SEC tournament that could get them to 20 wins and give them a shot. But and when they do that bullshit where they got the quad 1, quad 2, and all that bullshit so that they can put more SEC teams in, that might be what saves them. But off of merit and off of eye test of what Kentucky's supposed to be, oh, hell no.
Okay. Asia said, she said, who's daddy, Mike? What did she miss? She said, what's up, fam? Asia in the building. My man Lester, he in the building. Lester Johnson, proven winner, said, what's up? What up, though, fellas? Good morning. Dropping these picks. He said Kentucky will survive over Florida. So he does have them winning that game. This one right here is, I think Florida wins this game. I think Florida is one of the well-oiled machines. They got a good guard play with Alex Lynn, the kid they had got from Harvard, playing good basketball, and they got Boogie Flynn over the transfer from Arkansas, playing solidifying that backcourt. They one of the teams that worked on their turnovers. They're one of the least amount of as far as a combo of turning the ball over in the conference SEC. I think the front line is fantastic. Everybody tout them or Michigan of having one of the best front lines in all of basketball. So I'm gonna say this, man. And my nephew is in the building. We can't forget about Donald, the voice of the youth. We'll get to him in just a moment because I know that he had to be here because I'm glad he knew exactly when to get on this show. But this is the thing, guys. I think that Florida wins this game and Kentucky loses the 12th game, like Mike said. And I don't think but that will still have them at having a winning record in SEC. I think that'll make them 10-8 in the SEC. But I'm going to go out here and I'm going to ask this question. Soul on Sports. If the Kentucky Wildcats somehow lose this game and then lose the first round of the SEC tournament and they don't make the tournament, can we see Mark Pope potentially losing his job?
Most definitely. Kentucky is one of those schools that expect championships, even they don't win every single year, but that's what their expectations are. So, yeah, I can definitely see him getting fired and then bringing in another coach to also fail. So, yeah.
Okay. Michael, the people champ. If Kentucky doesn't make the tournament, can you see Mark Pope being replaced in Kentucky?
Sure. He reminds me a lot of Matt Doherty at North Carolina. He played at Kentucky. He won a national championship at Kentucky, and he came back, and the coaching thing just hasn't panned out. And you got to think, Matt Doherty actually ended his first season as a number 1 seed won the ACC, got beat in the tournament, brought in a top-rate recruiting class with Sean May, Rashad McCants, Ray Felton, and didn't make it out of that year.
Wow. Okay. Don, what do you think about that? If, we talk about Kentucky basketball. Kentucky basketball is one of the most historical programs, if not the number one program, maybe in America, as far as blue bloods. You got North Carolina, Duke, UCLA, Indiana. What do you think about them? If did we lose Don already?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. If Kentucky does not make the tournament this year, can we see a new coach? Mark Pope will probably have to go elsewhere.
I think they may. I can see them fired, and I can see them not. I can see them not because of the Coach Cal thing and the "I told you so." Y'all want me gone? Watch this, like he been said. Y'all don't understand that the Kentucky program as of late, it wasn't that y'all was Kentucky. Coach Cal brought all those guys there to have y'all be successful. And his thing, like he said, watch this when I leave. So therefore, I can see Kentucky letting them stay so they won't be proved wrong by him. But I could think that they, one of them schools that feel like we deserve better. So I could see him getting fired. But all in all, I don't think he'll lose his job this year. But I think if he has another bad year next year for sure.
Yeah, it's really difficult because he reminds me of how they treat the coach at Alabama. Like the motherfucker can win all these games and get you to the playoffs and win a playoff game and still be on the hot seat is crazy work. And I think that's the same thing with Kentucky. I think even if he does make the tournament, which I think somehow Kentucky gets in, I mean, to have 10 wins in the SEC is tremendous. Even if they don't win another game, they got 10 wins in the SEC, a conference that's going to probably get the most teams again in the tournament. I just believe that they keep him around just because of that. I didn't really think about the aspect of what Donald said. That was a good point. But I just think they keep him around because they haven't really been landing top recruits. Like the last 2 years since Cal have been gone, they haven't been getting no top recruits. Like they ain't. How many McDonald All-Americans they got on their team? And probably their best player should be playing football. Ortega should be playing football because his brother's a linebacker in the NFL. I think he's a guy that should be playing in the NFL. I think, and then they got the guy, one of their best guards is a transfer from the championship Florida team in Aberdeen. So I'm like, when is Kentucky going to get back to recruiting like Kentucky needs to recruit? I think that's what's going to get him fired more than him not getting in the tournament. But I think Mark Pope should at least get another year. Like Donald said, I agree with that.
But see, you got to be a recruiter. You have to. I mean, you got this NIL money. You at Kentucky, bro. There is no reason on earth not to get top level recruits. When I was growing up, I mean, Kentucky wasn't really that good. They had guys all the time like Rex Chapman, Kenny Skywalker. They just weren't good. Then they went on probation, and then Patino gets there, and then he started this whole lineage of guys, and Tubby Smith kept that going. Then they went and got Cal, and he's kept it going. So not being able to get guys at Kentucky is more of a problem than the record.
I don't know, Mike. I kind of think that in college basketball now, with the NIL, it's different from football. A great player go play at a small school for the bag. Look at that brother that went to BYU. You would never see that in college football because he ain't got no team around him. In basketball, I can be the man here. You gonna pay me $10 million to go to BYU? Cool, I'm with that. I just think that changes things. Like a player like Kentucky would normally get those type players, but now they gotta try to outbid these other schools, and maybe they're not putting up enough cash.
But it's not hurting Carolina. It's not hurting Duke. It's not hurting. Cal is down there recruiting at Arkansas. I mean, if you're a recruiter, you're a recruiter, and you gotta have a little bit of that.
You gotta recruit with an open. We gotta recruit with an open checkbook too. You gotta be willing to spend money. Recruit your school name alone is not going to get you these players.
And you don't think that Kentucky's checkbook for basketball is it vast?
I don't know.
It's open, but I honestly think this too, though. As far as recruiting now, and as far as recruiting nowadays, if you notice, Duke is getting all the top guys. Kentucky was getting all the top guys before that. People.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't hear you,
Yeah, but when he get back, I know what he was. I'm letting him finish his thought when he gets back. But yeah, I jump in here too. I just think that Kentucky used to go with name recognition, Mike, and I don't think they going with name recognition anymore. Like you said, it hasn't hurt Duke, it hasn't hurt UCLA, it hasn't hurt Kansas, but it has hurt schools like UCLA. Remember, UCLA used to be a school that didn't matter. They used to get the top players. Like it was UCLA used to be. Everybody wanted to go to UCLA. UCLA was a cream of the crop, and now people are like, "Nah, I ain't going to UCLA. I'm going to." It's people going to USC over UCLA.
But check out who the head coach is at UCLA. And I like Mick Cronin. I don't think he's a bad coach, but I think he's a great coach at West Virginia. I don't see him being in LA. He's not the guy that you gotta have a dude, man, that's got slick hair, that smell good, to wear some Gucci's, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's that guy at schools of that variety. There's only going to be, and I'm going to say this quite honestly, there's only going to be like one Hubert Davis, who they had to go get him a GM because he's not the guy to, you know, he's a very nice human being, right? But you got to have that used car salesman in you to seal the deal. And since they got that GM, you know, it's lining up for them this year better, and then next year they got a really good class coming in. It was the help that he needed.
Okay, Jason said, I feel like Pope is more in line with Billy Gillispie than Cal. Go ahead, Donald. Finish your thoughts.
Oh yeah, like I was saying, that guys now that you recruit the top guys to be able to get them, they don't care about you coaching us to where we can win a championship. Or can you put us in the best position to be a top pick in the NBA and get closer to our money? That's what it's all about. That's what Cal did. That's what at the end of Krzyzewski, Krzyzewski had to realize, I can't keep doing this with these guys. I gotta go get some top players. Now Shires is bought into it, and that's where the top guys are going to go. Who are not more so worried about winning the championship. It's not as important that what can you do for me as an individual, making me a top pick in the league. So I think Mark Pope is trying to recruit a team to where he can win with, which hurts when you're trying to win. Plus, you got to get guys going to the NBA. So it's the balance you got to figure out.
Yeah, you got to do both. If not, you're going to get fired.
Not in certain places. Not in certain places. Like Shire. Job is going to be pretty safe for a long time.
Bro, if he lose, Donald, if he start losing, they're going to fire his ass.
He don't have to win it. He's going to win games.
I mean, consistent basis. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, he's going to be winning. But if you get the caliber of guys that you're getting that's going to the NBA, you're going to win a fair share of your games just because of who you got. See, the thing with Mark Pope is he's not getting them guys, and then he can't win. He needs to go get all 26-year-olds or something.
But this is the thing with Mark Pope, and we're going to go on to the next game. The thing with Mark Pope is he's from BYU. He went out, even though he's a Kentucky guy, he was on the championship team. I think they won in 98, Mike? When they won in 98, wasn't Mark Pope on that team? Yeah. So he like, we had a family here. Yeah, y'all had, because if you look at that roster, your best player was Tony Delk on that roster. And not taking anything away from Tony Delk, but those are not John Wall type athletes that was on that team. And I think he went to BYU where they had that, of course, a lot of family out there, family oriented. Oh, we're going to get guys that's going to play 4 years. He's trying to bring that same formula to Kentucky. You can't bring a country mentality into a city type of team, and you got to change with the tides. And I think, Donald, you're absolutely correct. He said Antoine Walker. No, that was 96, wasn't it? I thought
Pope was on the 96 team.
Yeah, he was on 96 team, not the 90. He wasn't on the 98 team. Jason, check and see was Pope on the 96 team or the 98.
Because Tony Delk was on the 96 team.
He was on 96 team.
Senior. And they had Derek Anderson and Antoine Walker.
Ron Murphy.
Yeah, so that was 96. So it was 96 team. You're right. They were loaded. I'm sorry, they were loaded on that 96 team. I thought he was talking about the 98 team was not loaded. He said no, Pope was on 96, but 98 team was not loaded. That's what I was talking about. But nevertheless, my thing is BYU, he's trying to bring that family-oriented mentality. As soon as Mark Pope leaves, they get the blue chipper. Like, soon as they leave, they get one of the top transfers in Robert Williams III. You get AJ. It's like I don't know if this formula is going to work. You trying to be loyal to your seniors and all that good stuff. He trying to develop players. And Donald, you're right, man. That shit ain't. A lot of people like, I want to get paid. I don't give a damn about getting developed. I want to get paid and get to the NBA, and that might be the downfall. So, but nevertheless, man, good stuff on that situation. But we got another one. Speaking of BYU, Donald, we got number 10 Texas Tech at 22-8. They missing their best player. We got BYU at 20-10, 8-10 in the Pac-12. They're missing their second best player in Richie Saunders. Can potentially we see that BYU could potentially not make the tournament?
I don't think so. I think they're going to the tournament because they got a big draw. So it's certain teams like that's not going to make it because they don't. If a team's close to a BYU is going to get in because they have the draw, a lot of money invested in the kid, and that's who that people want to see. They probably know they're not going to win it. They know a lot of teams that get in not going to win it. But at that point, it goes to what kids bring the most money out of. But AJ the best, they're going to make it in the tournament. And the excuse they're going to have is, well, the Big 12 is so tough, you can't expect them to win. They already got a built-in excuse for it. So I think they're going to make the tournament. But if we was picking today's game, I think Texas Tech will win the game today.
Okay, it's crazy, Mike. I'm gonna go to you. And I understand what Donald's saying. It's a big draw, but we remember because we hear from the Midwest when Kenyon Martin got hurt with the you remember. So you remember this when Kenyon Martin, they were undefeated or not undefeated, but they were like one of the top teams in the country. He broke his leg, and all of a sudden they got a bum deal in the tournament. So Mike, you seen it? We seen it firsthand because we was right here in this neighborhood. Does this affect them losing Richie Saunders? Would that affect them and them not getting in the tournament because of that?
It won't be because they don't have Richie Saunders. It's because they've shitted down their leg the last several weeks. I mean, it's gotten worse and worse and worse for them. They don't seem to be able to defend on offense. They're just a one-man show, and that's it, and that's all. And teams kind of figured it out and let the Bamsa do his thing. Just stop the rest of these guys, and nobody else is capable consistently of putting up points or doing what needs to be done. So, I mean, and they should not make the tournament under 500 in the Big 12. This is under no circumstance. None whatsoever, period. It's lunacy that we think in college sports that you have tournaments set up, and we watch this in football, and you want to take out the teams that actually won on the field, but you want to put in a team because of their name or their draw or something like that. That is absolute lunacy because that's not why we play the games. That's not what we teach kids from the time they're in youth league till they get to a certain level. It's about the outcomes of the games. That's all that matters. Or that's all that should matter.
Jason said there's no way they leaving AJ at home. He said Richie Saunders is 25, by the way. Shit is gross. Hey, but he's still playing. You can't mean the guy can really shoot it. Soul Sports, what do you think about this BYU, man? 20-10, 8-10 in the conference. They 8-10 in the B. Even if they win today, they still got to lose a record, like Mike said. Do you think BYU could stand a chance of not making the tournament?
I think they'll make it. I agree with Donald. They do have a big name. I mean, this kid's going to be possibly a top 3 pick in the draft, and that does matter. You can say about who they're going to pick to get into the tournament. You can't tell me CBS and the networks they have a say-so on some of that shit also. They might not come out and say that, but they care about that because that ratings mean more money for them. But I do believe Texas Tech going to beat the shit out of them today, but I still think BYU finds a way. It seems like they were just in the top 10 recently. Seems like it. But now they'll find a way. I think they'll find a way to get in the tournament. They might not last long, but I think they'll get in there. Mike, you know about not lasting long, right? They'll be in there. They'll be in there.
but you're in there. That's what counts.
But see, this is where I go against the grain on the BYU situation. I think that the reason why I think they might not get in the tournament, it has nothing to do with their Big Ten schedule. It's people above them. You're not going to keep TCU out. TCU is playing fantastic basketball down the stretch, and they have a winning record in the Big 12. UC has a winning record in the Big 12 and is playing better basketball, more quad one victories in the last 10 games. They beat Iowa State. Do you see what they did? They beat Arizona. Was it Arizona they beat, or was it Kentucky, Kansas? One of them. I know Cincinnati got some good quad one wins. And the crazy thing about that is you can't take these teams that are playing better. Central Florida has a winning record in the Big 12. So you're gonna tell me you're gonna take those teams that have better records in conference over a team that does not, just because they have a good player. That good player needs to equal victories. We know the Big 12 is a gauntlet, but you knew that when you signed with BYU that the Big 12 was a gauntlet. You knew what type of talent they had and what type of time you was gonna be on. So that's why you start the season at 16-1, and now you're 20-10. So you're 4-9 over the last 13 games, guys. And if you lose, you're gonna be 4-10 over the last 14 games of the season. You can be 4-10 backing into the Big 12 tournament. And there's no guarantee you're gonna win your game in the tournament the way that they've been playing. So I'm a big component. I can see BYU staying at home. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this because everybody want to see AJ. I get it. I want to see him as well. But the thing about it, if we want to see him play, then he needs to go out here and he needs to find a way to beat Texas Tech today. Texas Tech is not without their best player and JT Toppins, and they still been 3-1 since he's been out of the lineup. They're 3-1. And I don't know, man. I got Texas Tech winning today, and I got BYU at home for the tournament.
How about this? Carolina's 5-1 without Caleb Williams, because the team is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
BYU is not a good basketball team. If losing your second best player destroys the remainder of your season, that simply means that you weren't that really good of a basketball team, and teams have just found you out.
Okay, Donald, what you think? Final thought on that?
I think they're gonna get in. It deserve it or not. Like you see all that, they may be more deserving. They don't have an AJ DeBesta. It doesn't matter. Like the real life logic doesn't matter in the business world. It doesn't matter. They just don't have that player. So they know UC not gonna win it all. It's not like they like it said a team like UC. Not saying this is the team that's going to get left out over them or TCU or anybody of them.
West Virginia.
But okay, all of these teams, they know they're not going to win it all. So it doesn't matter. So my thing is, I believe they would rather see the star than one of those guys or somebody people won't even watch. I'm not saying that BYU is more deserving. I'm just saying what I believe what'll happen because I know how the sports in the world works.
I get that, Donald, but what's the point of fucking playing the tournament? Like Mike said, what's the point of playing the whole Big 12 conference and you get a losing record and you still get rewarded with other teams that did not, who have better records and have a better conference record, and they get left at home?
That's what the NIT is for.
Sex sells, baby.
Life ain't fair.
People want to see sex appeal, and BYU brings that. And
life ain't fair.
You see if some of these other schools don't have that.
As long as we've been watching sports,
I've seen teams get left out of the tournament that had a star player, but they didn't win enough games. That's the NIT. We've seen some great NIT games because there's a team that got left out that may go on and win the NIT trying to move that shit to the end.
Donald, you stupid. We didn't see Ben Simmons, one of my favorite light-skinned guys. Ben Simmons got left out the tournament. He was the number one pick of the draft. Malik Folks for Washington, number one pick of the draft, did not make the tournament. So who gives a fuck if you don't make the tournament? We should not give you an opportunity to go to the tournament if you didn't earn it. It ain't gonna hurt the draft stock evidently because we didn't see number one picks not even play in the NCAA tournament ever in their life.
The thing is, I don't think AJ cares if you let him in the tournament. I think the people are just they want to see him. He don't mind. They want to get the season over fast as possible. Let me get on to what's important here. He don't care about getting in the tournament. I'm just saying that the committee and stuff and the people in the world will rather see these teams.
But the thing about it, AJ said he wants to come back. AJ said he might want to come back next year, though.
Yeah, if they pay him enough.
But Jody made a great point. We've seen big-time stars get left out of the tournament before. This and the TV deals have been in place for 3 or 4 decades now. So it's not just that they want to see them on TV. At the end of the day, the public demand is that teams that win. Miami of Ohio will be in the tournament. They are 31-0 as of right now. and they
They
will
should.
be in the tournament because the groundswell of people that been chirping all week long, like this notion that Auburn, and they used Auburn because it was Bruce Pearl talking, should get in, and everybody's like, hell no. I don't care if they played Arizona every game of the season and went 18-18 over a team that went 31-0. You can't. That's not how sports is set up.
You know what I believe? I believe they'll let BYU over. If Miami don't win the conference tournament, they'd rather put BYU in than they're not saying it's right, but it just happens.
Hold on,
It doesn't actually happen.
Okay.
Hold on. So jump in there on that one. What?
I agree with Donald 100% on this. If AJ, let's say they get into a tournament and let's say they fuck around and win the first round game. Oh shit, they got a storyline, and that's going to get even more people watching. But if another school that don't have sexy player on it, if they get to, so what? No one gives a shit. But I think the bigger story, the bigger money draw is for to put AJ in the tournament. I agree with Donald.
But hold on. The thing that guys, the March Madness makes $1 billion a year.
Mhm.
1 month makes $1 billion a year. And they've been having great players. They've been having subpar seasons. No matter how bad the teams are in college basketball, they still make $1 billion. Do you think they give a fuck if AJ, I know they want him there and that's all great, but if Miami gets if you have Miami and BYU, those are two teams that are supposed to get in, and they let Miami in, and Miami fuck around and go to the Sweet 16, man, you, bruh, if Miami get in there and go to the Sweet 16 is more appealing than if BYU go in there and go to the Sweet 16, because people are like, well, you got the best player in America, you're supposed to be there. If Miami of Ohio, who is not supposed to be 31-0, there's not been a team that's been undefeated this late in the season, I believe, since Kentucky a few years ago, when they were undefeated, they lost to Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
That's the last team that's been like that. So my thing is that will be more of a storyline, because in college basketball, they give a fuck about the name on the front of the shirt, not the name on the back.
I think those days are behind. I think those days are behind us.
But I also think we just saw this play out in college football. Do you not think that they wanted Notre Dame fan base in the college playoffs? Sure they did. But at the end of the day, the public demand was for head-to-head competition to matter, and for those teams that y'all beamed about that shouldn't have been in from those other conferences. The little guy got their chance. And this tournament has always been built on the little guy getting his chance. The most entertaining thing about the 64 ain't the Final Four. It's the first week. It's the first week that the folks from all over the country will be in Vegas next week for the beginning of the tournament, because they go out there and bet on which Miami of Ohio is going to upset Duke. That's how it goes. You know, teams that lose to number 1 seeds, that lose to 16 seeds in the tournament.
We're not about to start that petty shit. Matter of fact,
what is that? But I think that's changed.
I mean, you know,
hey, if we go to the NIT, we probably won't lose. But look, so
you should have been.
But no, I think that's changed these last couple of years with this NIL stuff. There are no more upsets in the tournament like that. That's over. So those Cinderella things, they don't matter. Those teams don't matter anymore.
There were upsets all up and down. It wasn't last year in the tournament.
Who got beat last year?
I'd have to pull the bracket, but it wasn't by no stretch of imagination.
No. They start getting paid. When they start getting paid last year, basketball season, when they start getting paid, nobody got beat for real last year.
He right about that.
The upsets are over.
But there have been years where there weren't. There are years with the way the tournament has been structured. There have been years where everything kind of went chalk through the first round. That wasn't the first time in humanity that it happened. It just happened last year.
I'm telling you, just like this year and just like in the football tournaments and stuff, the upsets are over. Once we can willingly pay all of our players out of our pocket and get the best cream of the crop, and we can take a guy from Miami of Ohio, say he's averaging 19 right now, right? He won't be there next year. He's going to be the 6th or 7th man at a blue blood school or something, and he's just taking all the chance away from these little schools, so they don't matter.
At Miami right now, and what I'm saying, we've seen UD make a run. We've seen teams make runs, and you will see a team that is under the radar, under the salary cap, came out of nowhere. You're gonna see them win. It's been happening. Guys been getting paid to go to schools forever. We're
how
just
many
now admitting.
how many years? Okay, well, since this NIL kicked in, it's been over with. And I want to know how many years do we got to wait before you be like, okay, well, it's over.
Yeah, I said that last year. Remember, so I was like,
Yeah, you did.
I
It's
said
over.
this money is gonna make it where the bigger schools get bigger, pause, and the smaller schools gonna get crushed, and that's just how it's gonna be. Because Donald, you're right. That's what I will agree with Donald on is you're gonna have a guy if he was at Miami and he was a freshman, and he's putting up 19 points a game. He ain't gonna be with the Miami of Ohio Red Storm. He's gonna be with St. John's or he's gonna be with North Carolina next year. I mean, prime example, North Carolina has one of our good friends of the show, Jonathan Powell's son, playing for him. He transferred down to UNC. So it is what it is. But speaking of that, I'm not even gonna go to y'all two first. I'm gonna go to Soul first on this one. I ain't gonna even fuck with y'all.
I'm gonna keep it short.
Nah, you ain't gotta
let these two go at it.
That's gonna be crazy work. Number 17 in the country, North Carolina Tar Heels, 24-6, going against number 1 Duke at 28-2. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, guys. Caleb Wilson is out for the remainder of the season. Non-contact, broke his thumb.
Surprise.
Broke his thumb in a non-contact drill, but they said he will be available for the NBA draft. So on Sports, man, who you got in this matchup right here?
Carolina won the first matchup, and I got Duke getting a revenge today. But after Carolina won't be the same team without their best player. I think this game gets out of hand today. I think Duke beats you by double digits. I got Duke winning today.
I'm going to go ahead and say something because I know these motherfuckers got a lot to say. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here first, guys. Can I jump in here first before y'all go at it? This is the thing. In this series, it don't fucking matter who is playing. I know Caleb Williams is probably going to be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft. He played fantastic in the first game. I don't think it matters when you got that powder blue uniform against the Duke Blue Devil. I don't think it matters. I think this game is going to go down to the wire like the last one did. A lot of guys have been waiting. Guys like Dixon for North Carolina, guys like Tribble who hit the game winner last time. Those guys are chomping at the bits to have an opportunity to sweep the Duke Blue Devils, and to beat them in Duke in Cameron Indoor will be nothing more than a dream for those guys. But I like what Duke is doing. I like what Isaiah Evans is doing. Isaiah Evans is taking a lot of pressure off of Cam Boozer, getting some outside shooting. Wow. I'm gonna go with Duke, not because Caleb Williams not playing. I'm gonna go with Duke just because it's at Cameron Indoor. Now, me and Soul is out the way. Michael the People, who you got in this game? I'm gonna step to the side. Go ahead. Who you got?
First off, I want losers to go first because the
Yo,
loser from the last game should speak on if they can get revenge or whatever powder puff commentary he's about to give. So I'm gonna defer to the loser first. So feel free to take the floor.
okay, go ahead, Don.
I mean, of course, I think we'll win a little scrimmage. I think we're gonna benefit from Caleb Wilson quitting because hasn't played since the last time that we since the last time we played. He outperformed everybody he's played against that was a top pick. He accomplished his goal, and he went and sat down and load managed like he should do. Great business decision. I commend North Carolina for protecting his image and not putting it out there like it was something different. When we all know he just went and sat down because he outperformed and he raised his stock to the point where it could be more. So we'll benefit from him quitting. We'll benefit from him quitting. And that's that. And I don't want to say they want to say it's a broke bone in his hand. Well, when they say other players, there's something wrong with them, but we know they just resting. How can we just go for that? We don't know if nothing broken or nothing. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But I just feel like he quit, which is cool. I'm all about business. You got your stock to the highest point it could go to. You outperformed every top pick when you played them, and we'll benefit from him quitting, and we probably win the game by double digits today.
Wow. Okay, Mike. There you go. First round.
I wanted everybody to hear a loser's mentality before a winner's mentality, because what happens at the end of the day is that this is not the University of Caleb Wilson. It is the University of North Carolina. We have a single expectation every year is to beat the little sisters of the poor down the street and put them in their place, which is why we have 30 more wins than they've ever beat us at any point in time. And for the second time in 3 years, we have an opportunity to sweep them in the regular season once again, as what we tend to do. So with that being the case, the guys that are remaining that will play will go at this 110%. The expectation is that they will represent the NC. You can't spell national champion without the N and the C, and that's what we play for. That's who we are. And this little thing down the street that wants to be us so bad. I mean, I feel like Eddie Kane. It ain't easy being me. Because that's who they want to be. They want to be the lead singer, and they just can't get there. We are the Big Mac. They are the Big Mick. No matter how you cut it, you know, we are Prince. They are Sexual Chocolate. That is the way that this rivalry is. It's the way that it's been, and it is the way it shall be.
Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
Hold on. So he just called. He said he Prince. They Sexual Chocolate. Did he call Duke Sexual Chocolate? Dollar? You can't stand for that. Go on round 3.
Man, these guys. Listen, we don't worry about them guys, bro. We like you said, they can do this, they can do that, and then in a couple years they'll look back and they'll be watching our players on TV. Man, that's just how it works nowadays.
Hey, didn't we just have this conversation a few weeks ago, and his chest was all puffed out? The next time you see him wearing a Carolina shirt because he doesn't learn his lesson.
No,
so
I'm saying
when you don't learn your lesson, you get spanked again. And so you're setting yourself up for not only a spanking this time, but a humiliation. Because when we beat you without Caleb Wilson, I said Love because the last time Love played at Cameron Indoor, Coach K was carrying his degenerate ass on home to get on the pins and everything else. But that's a whole nother story unto itself, right? Because that's just what we do. On the biggest stage, we beat them. You can take us to the tournament, Final Four, who's in, who's out. We beat them in tournaments. They don't beat us in tournaments.
Hold on, wait. So is it a double or nothing on this game? Is somebody wearing somebody else's shirt again in this game? Donald and Mike?
No, he not gonna do that.
No. Don't make it about me, because you still got the shirt. So it's easy for you to don it one more time. Now the question is, do you want to don the Carolina blue tomorrow for the world to see?
That's automatic. But I didn't think you. And you know what's crazy? I thought you was a smart guy, Mike. I didn't think you would make a decision so dumb to agree to that.
Oh no. I have see, you gonna get left out the pearly gates because you don't have faith. Your analytics are going to get you to hell because
damn,
yo, that's crazy work, man.
Because you got to have faith. You understand? And faith is the belief in things unseen. And I have faith that we will beat Duke every single time, even if it don't come true. I believe it.
So Mike, are you saying you will wear a Duke Blue Devil shirt if you lose tonight?
In my drawers, I will wear a.
Never mind.
You're gonna wear Duke drawers, or
you gotta have pants on the show. Like we don't. Like, this is a requirement.
Yeah, he don't have on pants right now.
that nigga got the assless chaps on right now.
So the answer to that question is bet accepted. I'm more than willing to accept the bet. No, Jody. You would never run from a bet from your little brother, I'm sure. So why would I run from?
What time that game come on?
6:30.
6:30. 5:30 your time.
I'll be back home.
Yeah, I'm about
hey, don't. Hey, so don't rush back. It's gonna be a bad one. Don't rush back. Nothing to see there. A little scrimmage.
I'm gonna go to the gym. I'll make sure I got my wings ready for this one because
it's gonna be good.
The question is, where does he get the bravado? Like there's no evidence at this point. There is no statistical evidence that Duke can beat Carolina because they haven't. So to say that they could win, okay, I can deal with that, or that he wants them to win. That's one thing. But the only fact that we have for the 25-26 season is that we know that Carolina is capable of beating Duke. We do not know that Duke is capable of beating Carolina because there is no evidence of that.
Well, we'll find out.
One thing about it, they're going to play.
So what you about to say?
I said we're gonna find out here real quick,
and we definitely will. And on top of that, we might get blessed for a round 3.
Yeah.
Hey, on round 3, I got something special. If y'all play for a third time, I got a better bet than the shirts. I got a better bet, and I'll tell y'all about that if we get to round 3. But good.
You might as well tell us now because it won't be one. But go ahead.
If it is a round 3, we're gonna change our social media. Like you got to take and put. You got to put Duke as your Mike. You had to put Duke as your. That's Duke Blue Devils for at least a day.
Ooh.
Donald, you got to do a change of picture.
Ooh, I
you
love
have
that.
to be North Carolina for a whole day.
I love that.
Yeah, some of that. Some for a whole day. And don't be ducking, deactivating your page for one day. Y'all better answer some fucking questions with y'all profile.
I hope matter of fact, I hope y'all win and make it to us because y'all be playing in the first days. We're gonna get a bye. So
we already have a double bye.
Hey,
I have that.
Hey, I got a comedy question. Since we know y'all teams are gonna get in. Me and Soul's teams are on the bubble. So, do you think your Texas Longhorns can make it into the tournament?
No. Hell no. We don't have a chance. It's a snowball chance in hell to make the damn tournament. It's not going to happen this year.
Shit, my Ohio State Buckeyes have a really strong chance after beating Purdue. I think we got a really strong chance. Man, I think Ohio State sneaks into the tournament, man. I think Ohio State gets in. I think they're going to be an 11th seed. They're going to play right here in Dayton in a playing game. Mark my word. Ohio State gets in. And they're going to be right here at home.
That very well could be because they beat Purdue the other week.
Yeah, they beat Purdue.
I think that win alone, plus they've had some close losses to the likes of, it's just a fact. They had a 1-point loss to Carolina. They had a 1 or 2 point loss to Michigan. They've been on the cusp of winning a couple games that they didn't, and then they won some games that have them right on that bubble. They look like a bubble team. They look like more of a bubble team to me than BYU.
And the crazy thing, and I'm not just being a homer with Ohio State, we got a guy named Amari Biner. He's a freshman, and we got a kid coming in next year. Is it Thompson, Donald?
Yeah, Thompson from 11. Yeah, Thompson. Forget his first name.
Dude, they say he's going to be a organizational changing of the guards, and Ohio State is going to be back to where we were when we was getting Greg Odom and Daquan Cook and Lighty and Mike Conley Jr. That's what type of talent he's coming. Of course, he's not good as Greg Odom was. We talking about Greg Odom.
Only thing is he got to stay committed because they say a lot of people want the coach gone.
And I don't think, and that's not fair. I don't think that he should be gone. He was an intern last year. He took over a team. He came in mid-season. You know how hard it is to take over a team mid-season? Yeah. And then you finally get your first year. So you don't have any of your recruits really in there. And they are on the cusp of actually getting into the tournament. So is that Diebler's brother, Mike?
Yeah, that's the older brother.
John Diebler's brother.
So that's the one that went to Valparaiso?
I think he went somewhere. The way he was shooting that ball was his senior year and beat Dunbar. Oh God.
Hey, they hit so Dunbar, just to give you some content, Dunbar had Daquan Cook and Norris Cole on the same team. And so Norris Cole was a junior, and they had another guy named Aaron Polk who was just as good as a junior. They had Daquan was a senior, right, Mike?
No. That was Daquan's junior year, and Norris and Aaron sophomore.
Yeah. Okay, they junior
because they won it. They won senior
because they won back to back. They went to the state championship 3 years in a row. They won it back to back. They won when Daquan was at Ohio State too. They hit 22 3-pointers, bro.
Damn.
22 3-pointers.
Let me tell you something. I have never seen. I've been to some games where, the white guys won the game. The white guys ran these guys out the gym. I've never seen this in my life before, where they ran them out the gym. They were raining threes from everywhere, so much to the point where they could get to the bucket at will because everybody was out guarding the line. And if you just ducked inside and made a backdoor cut, you was getting a layup. And they were like, we don't have a shot clock in Ohio. And they were at 90-some points or so.
95 to 90 was the final.
And I think they only probably missed, I want to say they only missed like 7 threes. I think they were like 22 for 29 or something like that.
They were shooting that ball like no other. Then they won. And I think the next year they would try to get the rematch, and Sandusky lost. And then Aaron and Norris, when they wanted their senior year, they played Sandusky again. Dunbar won, but Diebler still had 50 in the championship game.
So just to put something in context, so Diebler has more points scored than LeBron James in Ohio.
Damn.
He was shooting that ball.
And I think Luke Kennard might have broke both their records, right, Donald?
Somebody just broke it like last year. Some little guy, I don't even know who he is.
Oh, okay.
But Diebler was number one. Diebler had 3,000. Luke had like 29.7 or something like that.
When LeBron up there, he was up there too.
LeBron was like fifth or something like that, fifth or sixth.
Okay. Hey, King Mink said no love for Miami of Ohio. Absolutely. We talked about them 31-0, of course. Eagles Philly said good show today. Good brothers. Doing your thing, stay safe and stay blessed. That's our brother, man. Happy belated birthday to our guy, Eagles Philly, man. Always coming in. Appreciate you, King Minks in the building. Miss Glenn back in there. She said enjoyed the show. I'm glad to see her back. Checking out the show, man. Definitely appreciate her. But yeah, man, great show. I can't wait till tomorrow. We should, God willing, I ain't get sick again. We will be back again at 11:30. Let's make sure that I ain't sick tomorrow. Because that's why we was gone, just to make everything clear. I got sick all last week. I was down bad. Mike was down bad. It was just all bad up here as far as sicknesses, man. So, hey, God, take care of your health, man. You know, get out there, get to the gym, man. Drink water, man.
Yeah.
Eat better, man. Don't eat all that fast food, man. Eat you some home cooked meals, man. Get your lady friends to make you your wives and cook for yourself, man. But start really getting on the grill, man. Eating some grilled meat, man. Pause.
Hey, you got. Jody, you prefer your meat to be grilled? Is that how you prefer your meat to be eaten, Jody?
I don't want it boiled.
What about smoked? You want it smoked?
Hey, woo, you got to get that. Yeah, I can't wait to get down and get one of them briskets, though. So I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, great show. But before we get out of here, you know what we always do, man. We got to get our final thoughts. And got my nephew in the building, man. Donald, give me your final thoughts.
My final thought is I want to say congratulations to the Oxford, Miami of Ohio. They went 31-0, still not getting no love. Some people saying they shouldn't get in, they should. But I believe no matter who you play, I don't care if you play Sinclair 45 times. If you go 45-0, you deserve a spot in the championship because it's not like they're going to put other teams in the tournament who have a chance of winning also. Like just as much as you don't feel like they got a chance, some of those lower tier SECs and Big 12 teams have about the same chance of winning it all also. So we all know the Big 10 ain't going to win it, so we don't worry about them. But I just want to congratulate the Miami of Ohio on a 31-0 season. Hopefully win a conference tournament and get some, and even if they don't win a conference tournament, get an at-large bid in the tournament because they are 31-0.
That's crazy you said that, Donald, because you made mention to Big 10 and Michigan had a really good chance, but I think with them losing Kasem, it's really going to hurt them. That's another significant injury. I believe he had an injury, season-ending injury. BYU with Richie Saunders, Texas Tech with JT Toppins, North Carolina with Caleb Wilson. It's a lot of injuries that's going to change the complexion of what this tournament is going to look like, guys. So this guy's going to have to really step up. And in college basketball, it can't be the next man up. Like it's not that easy in college basketball. Like the next man up. We're talking about you play the whole season with this roster and trying to get your rotation. And I wonder if Michigan can bounce back. They got a game against Michigan State tomorrow, right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
So
4:30. Sparty will be in the building.
So you going? Are you going?
Oh no, we're not going. It's in Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay. My daughter's right up there in Ann Arbor. I was wondering if she can probably give me some tickets. She's a if she can give me a ticket, I'll shoot up there. But we will see, man. But that's good stuff, Donald. Hey, why did King Ming said do he like our meat marinated? Listen, man, we
You gotta have that flavor.
that's crazy. That's crazy work. But we got my man Michael, the people. So I'm glad he's back healthy, man. Michael, the people said, man, give me your final thought, bro.
Before I give my final thought, I want to say congrats to the Trotwood Madison Rams basketball team. They just won a nail biter in the district finals.
That's what I was just trying to check. Good. Thank you, David.
Against Goshen, 62-61. So they will be advancing, I believe, to the regional semifinals on Tuesday, March 10th, 6 p.m. at Xavier University. So shout out to the running Rams for upholding the legacy.
You know who they playing?
Not yet. I think that game, the winner, they play the winner of the 3:00 game today, and I'm not sure who that's against.
Yeah, Trotwood had the first game.
So what about real quick? What about Northridge? Northridge knocked off Dunbar. Did Northridge advance as well?
They play Taft today. I think it's at like 3:00. I think they play Taft today. Said Taft pretty good. So we'll see what happens with that. And then whatchamacallits, girls was just up by 8 going into the fourth quarter, and I think that's the regional final for the girls. So that should be going to state. Chaminade.
What about is Springboro still in?
The boys,
girls.
The girls that I don't know.
And Wayne is still in too, Mike.
Wayne is still in.
They're still in. Because my nephew, big shout out to my nephew Trey, little Kevin, man. This guy wasn't even on a team 7th grade. They didn't even let him play with the regular team in the 8th grade. So now he's on the varsity roster on a team that can be in the regionals. That's hard work right there.
Hard work, baby.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry about that.
And so my final take is I felt like yesterday's display by the NCAA visiting the president of the United States was disgusting. I think that more attention needs to be paid to what is happening with these coaches and these what I call institutionalists. I hate when I see a room full of white guys making decisions about the future of young black males, predominantly in football and basketball. They are appealing to Congress for Congress to put some rules and regulations, laws in place for amateur athletics in the United States. And there was no representation from the players' side. The players must create a union in order to keep their interests that generations have fought for. They must create a amateurs player union so that they have a lobby for their interests, because yesterday's move was absolutely disgusting. Nick Saban was a part of it. Others went and talked about the need for this or that. So while y'all been making all this money as an institution off the backs of young black males, predominantly in these 2 particular sports, the only 2 sports that have age requirements where you got to go to college, the only 2 professional sports with salary caps are the 2 leagues predominantly ran by or played by the black athlete. There's no salary cap in tennis, no salary cap in golf, no salary cap in hockey, no salary cap in baseball, but there's a salary cap in basketball, there's a salary cap in football. So all the way up the ladder, they're just going to control the dollars made off of these black athletes with no say-so from them. And I pray that they don't allow themselves to be NFLized, because they've got the worst union in all of sports that will never be able to get them what their just due is, to have guaranteed contracts, being that they play the most volatile sport and have the least amount of longevity of all the sports. So if you're looking at this show, if you care about this, quit paying attention to Jasmine Crockett and one individual. Pay attention to the large sum of what a real issue for young black America is really about. And that's legislation, attempting to pass legislation that would then regulate how amateur sports are conducted in regards to pay for play.
I like that. Good stuff, Mike. Good stuff.
Nick Saban got some nerve, man.
Real quick before I get to Solo on Sports final thought. Big shout out to my other nephew. I have another nephew, of course. I talk about him all the time. Peanut plays at Pick Central in Columbus. He'll be playing at 6:00. Both of my nephews started playing basketball really in the ninth grade. And both of them are on varsity rosters, man. Of course, Peanut is 6'8". He grew out of. We thought he was going to be more of a football player than he was a basketball player. He's an excellent basketball player. I just want a big shout out to that. Donald's cousins right there, because Donald was a very good basketball player in his own right. Myself,
6'8".
6'8", yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, we had a little talent in the Coleman family.
Yeah, I used to be taller than him.
Crazy work, yeah. That was like that was when he was a baby.
I don't think I have anybody in my bloodline that's 6'8". I can go all the way back. I don't think anybody's ever been that tall. Maybe 6'2", 6'3". 6'8" is pretty fucking tall.
We ain't never had nobody this tall. Our grandfather, which was Donald's, my grandfather, it's your great grandfather, right? Mm-hmm. My grandfather James, he was 6'6". And my little brother Jayson looked exactly like my grandfather. And that's where Jayson got his height from my grandfather. My brother JJ, he's 6'3". He got his height from there. I don't know how the fuck I got 6 foot. How the fuck I get skipped over? I have no fucking idea.
5'11".
I'm like, if I was 6'3", I'd have been in the league, nigga.
What they say?
He's giving his NFL measurements.
Measure with the shoes on.
5'10" and 3/4. I've stood next to him. I know how tall.
You know what I don't understand?
They're taller than you, Mike.
You know what I don't understand about what I don't understand about when they say we gonna measure you with your shoes off. I play with my shoes on. Like, what are you talking about? That don't even make sense to measure a player with his shoes off.
That is stupid.
That is dumb as fuck.
Well, we didn't get to talk about the draft today, but the most asinine thing I've heard here lately is little arms. But that'll be a conversation for another day.
We talking about the draft. It was just so much to go over. We'll get to that tomorrow.
That or them trying to say they got doubts in Cornell Tate because his 40 time wasn't fast, but you seen him play football elite. I don't know. I don't understand it.
At Ohio State though, he played for Ohio State and had one of the biggest catches against Michigan this year. But anyway, okay. All right. Solo Sports, man, give me a final thought as we get out of here.
Final thought, we've talked a lot about Duke and North Carolina matchup. Former Duke player J.J. Redick looked like he might be unemployed sooner than later, man. It's problems in L.A. Him and Luka arguing on the sidelines. He's yelling at Luka, pass the ball. I fucking love this. This the fat Luka's coming back. He's gonna realize what it's like to have real pressure on him. There was no pressure in Dallas. No one cares about Dallas basketball, but the whole world cares about LA basketball. So when he don't win a championship in LA, they're gonna run his used to be fat ass right out of LA, and JJ Redick probably gonna be going with him. LeBron gonna sit back and laugh like, yeah, you some bitches. Because LeBron works with everybody, but for some reason this Luka LeBron thing is not really working.
They winning games though. They say it's not working, but they're 10, 11 games over 500.
But you know what it is though, in LA, if you don't win championships or close to it, they got a fucking problem there.
But we won't know if they win a championship yet. The season we didn't even got to the playoffs yet.
They're not winning no championship.
I mean, I'm just saying, but I mean, LeBron is 800 years old. God damn.
No, the other guy they're trying to pair with Luka's gonna be the problem. The other white guy in the backcourt, they ain't gonna do it, bro. They got no defense.
I'm telling you, they got no. I don't know. And then they putting in players like Vanderbilt.
Jared Vanderbilt, like
no, I just
don't understand. It's the year 2020. You cannot be in a basketball game and play on a wing and can't shoot the basketball. You have too many dead spots in your offense. You have to be able to pass, dribble, or shoot the ball. If I pass you the ball and you can't do anything with it or make a shot, then the defense can recover. You got too many dead spots. You can't have people out there who can't play. And I don't understand. I always tell people not playing. Like a player like Luka, they say, but he can't play no defense. But a player will be able to play all defense and no offense, and they don't talk about him.
Shit, they did that ain't no different than what they did with Tony Allen. Remember Tony Allen? They didn't even guard fucking Tony Allen.
And that's why they couldn't do nothing. You have to be able to shoot the basketball to win.
But here's the thing, Jody. Isn't this league supposed to be so skilled at a level never seen before? And we got guys that don't play defense, shoot or can't shoot and play defense. When we grew up, everybody played both, but there was no such thing as a two-way player because everybody played both ends.
No,
Thank
no,
you so much
I
for
need you. No,
walking into that one with
I'm
the
happy
good
you said that.
time and ass.
I'm happy you said that because I don't really say too much uneducated thing without doing my history. I need you to show me where guys didn't have good like defense like that back then. They just phone you to the middle and let them foul you sometimes because the physical stuff is overrated. Because I watch them shoot uncontested layups all the time. But the reason that the league is so
Inconsistent layups.
I mean uncontested.
Okay.
The league is so skilled now that a player like Vanderbilt is getting extra exposed for not being able to shoot. Back then, it was a lot of guys who, even if they could shoot, they weren't allowed to shoot. Therefore, you wasn't going to get exposed because it was normal. Nowadays, whoever you kick the ball to needs to be able to shoot the ball. If you can't
All
shoot
I
the ball,
know is that we didn't complain about the skill. We never complained about the skill level of guys because guys that were in the NBA played in the NBA. They
because y'all
in the
didn't understand.
NBA.
Because if you only know, you can't complain about something if you only know so much.
I'm gonna put it like
I
this.
know for
That
a
was the
fact
only skill. That was the only skill y'all knew. Y'all didn't know
I
advanced
know
skills.
for a fact that out of the top 75 players that we just saw, or the top 100, most of them played before now.
No, Mike. Don't make yourself don't sound that bad again. The top 75 is what you've did off your career. First of all, if you're talking about the player's ability, out of the top 75, 30 or 40 of those guys will be off the list for guys who probably not even starting.
I think that Steph Curry and guys from this era were on that list. It's just not enough of them to put on the list to replace anybody.
Steph is an older guy.
But this is the thing too, and I want to get to this final thought. I gotta get out of here. This is the thing too, Donald. You said it wasn't a lot of good defense. Now I'm gonna go. It's some guys that take. I want you to do some research on Alvin Robertson. Okay. How he was able to play very good. This is one of the most underrated defensive players. Guys like Paul Pressey, Sidney Moncrief, Michael Cooper. Who was another guy that was tremendous? Then you got to think about it. They were able to funnel guys into the whole thing about playing good perimeter defense is keeping your man out of the paint. If you can keep your man out of the paint, I think you're a good defender. And they didn't shoot a lot of threes. And then they had big men in the middle that erased, like the Mark Eatons of the world, the Akeem Olajuwons of the world, Patrick Ewings. They erased David Robertsons. They would erase, if you did get beat, they would erase that shot. That's why Olajuwon was averaging down near 4 blocks a game. The Kimmy Mutombo, rest in peace to Mutombo. Alonzo Mourning.
It was just a different game, man. It's not to say that a lot of players today can't play back then and vice versa. The game is just played different. That's not saying these guys are way more better than the old school dudes. That's not true.
I know this.
Can I ask a question?
It's a big difference between finishing over 7-footers as opposed to Draymond Green, who's the defensive superstar of this era.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, so a lot of guys you would be finishing over, they won't be by the rim anyway. Like who was the greatest rim protector in the 80s or 90s, whatever the case?
I would say 80s it was Mark Eaton, 90s it was Kim Olajuwon.
A lot of those guys you won't be able to stand by the rim because you got to get you a guy who can pass, dribble, or shoot or do something with the ball outside the paint.
That's true, Don, but that don't make the game better.
I'm not saying the game is better. I'm just saying I believe that a lot of teams now will just beat the hell out of certain teams.
I don't know, bro. It's a lot of bad basketball teams that are playing right now too.
How does Rudy Gobert continue to be Defensive Player of the Year if this great metamorphosis happens? Rudy Gobert continues to be the Defensive Player of the Year, and he consistently leads the league in blocks.
Because if you go by look at his team's numbers, Rudy Gobert's teams are always top in defense. Wherever he goes, he's always top in defense. He's more of a team defender. He's more of a team defender than an individual defender. It's much harder to guard a guy. Let me ask you this. Now, back then, they was probably shooting 7 or 8 threes a game, right?
Yeah.
If I shoot 7, if I know you're not going to shoot a 3, I don't even have to guard certain guys out there. If I know you're coming to the mid-range of the hole, it's easier for me to clog a shorter amount of space. So it's actually easier to play defense. And then it's certain guys that just flat out not allowed to shoot. I don't think it was a lot of guys that was that bad. I think that the restrictions on players' games made it to where you wasn't even allowed to shoot. If I know you're not even allowed to shoot, I don't have to really guard you. It's way easier to guard you. If I walk down the street and I see a pit bull and he's on a leash, I'm not that scared. They didn't let a lot of pit bulls off the leashes back in the day.
But this is the thing. Like I said, just take a look at Alvin Robertson, and
I will.
because a lot of it has nothing to do with half court defense. Because sometimes it's transitional defense getting back. It's the game. If you really broke it down, and some people are doing it, and sometimes they doing it, in my opinion, and they're not doing it trying to really learn about it, Donald. They're doing it because they're trying to make Mike wrong, or Mike is
Yeah.
trying to make Donald wrong. They're
Yeah.
not looking at the game like you should look at it. They're looking at it because they're trying to find ways and holes in each other's game, and that's what I don't like.
Right.
Like if you're looking at it for a historical perspective, you're trying to learn. I understand it, but they're out here trying to prove other people wrong, and then you're leaving out you taking 2 minutes of a game, and you're leaving out the other 46 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people just believe whatever they see on the highlights or whatever, and you don't actually watch the game.
Yeah, but yeah. So this actually, well, my final thought is NBA related, and I was looking at the NBA and the All-Star weekend. They're down a whole fucking week. You see that they got when they have the mid-season, they give them off games. I came up with a solution that NBA should start doing what the NFL does and start having individual bye weeks for these NBA teams, so you won't have any work stoppage, no all-star break stoppage. All that shit is not good for basketball. It's good for the numbers, so they got TV deals. But far as basketball, and I think if you did that and you rested these players throughout the season, you won't have to do load management because they're already getting their week off. So every month or something like that, you take four teams a month, a week or whatever, and they got to buy that week. So now you can do the back-to-backs, and then that week that you know that you're about to give those guys a break or give them a bye, just like the NFL does it, they can play their back-to-backs or play their Western or go to the Texas Triangle and play those games instead of all these players missing games. And maybe this can help with all these players doing load management and missing so many fucking games just because they quote unquote are tired. I think if you did that and you wouldn't mess up the product, because okay, if you take 6 teams, they're out like the NFL do, and they don't have a game for that week, then the week before they can do their road trips, and then you ain't got to worry about, and you penalize the teams. The commissioner could be like, hey, we're going to penalize you if you try to be slick and let them miss that last game or the last few games until their bye week. We're going to find you, or we're going to make it where these players are suspended or something like that. Take their pay away. I think you can start getting 82 games or at least 72 games out of these players, man. I'm going to actually let y'all answer that before we get out of here. What do you think about that, Mike?
I don't understand what has happened to the human genetics to where we have to keep coming up with ways to get these guys that have hyperbaric chambers, that got nutritionists, that have every advantage of every single human thing that exists, to get them to be able to play 75 games on average throughout the league. I don't know what it is. I don't know what more we can do. I mean, are we going to change the court from a hardwood court to a soft rubber coated court? I mean, what more do we have to do to get these guys to be able to physically do what generations of people did with the most technology and advancement that there ever is? I don't know. And we keep, we can't have back-to-backs. We have to have days in between. They already fly commercial private jets. They don't fly commercial. They stay in the best hotels with accommodations. They got the best meal plans. They have the best off-season workout conditioning programs. I don't know what else we can do, Jody. That's basically what I'm saying. You brought up a good point, but what the fuck else can we do for these human, I guess they're human beings, or are they stick figures? What the fuck are they?
Okay. So what do you think?
I agree with you. I agree with both of you guys, honestly. But Jody, I think your mentality is they're gonna take days off anyway, so why not schedule it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's schedule the PTO. I think that's what you're thinking, and I like that idea.
Okay. What do you think, Don?
I don't think because the thing is, I don't think that they're tired or not playing. They just don't want to play. They just understand that if I don't play this amount of time, I can play this amount of time longer. I can get a whole nother contract. I can fit in here. My numbers be better. I can just flat out be greater. It's just better for them as a person. I don't think that they actually can't play, because you got to think You got a guy actually came back who got a torn Achilles in the playoffs and came back and played in the NBA game. So guys can recover and come back. It's not the actual health thing. It's that guys flat out don't play. So that's cool if you know what I'm saying for people, for real fans. I understand what you're saying, like for the fans and stuff. But as the human and the person that's playing, they're not really hurt. They just not playing.
Yeah, that's true too.
So if they don't feel like playing, that's just what it is. And some of the stuff is like, okay, like you got guys who come to the game and they say, oh nah, you're sitting tonight. So a lot of guys are sitting beyond their will too. Like, we're gonna play you this and this day. We're not gonna play you this day.
I get it. I just was trying to come up with something. I was just thinking like there should be no work stoppage, because when they had the All-Star break, that was too many days in between. And you allow others, you're not even at the top of your bracket of viewership. Now I understand as far as the numbers they are, but I'm talking about like they're not the number one sport in America anymore. It's football by a long shot. And I think the way that you do that is you don't miss opportunities to play. And if you always had never had a work stoppage, I think that'll help out. But when you got a whole week off, people forget that the NBA is even playing. Especially the way this college basketball season, man. People been more in tune with the college basketball than with the NBA. So I don't know.
Well, I was I tell me that's about the All-Star break. And I was like, what can y'all do to get people to watch? And Anthony Edwards just said, now he was like, people watch. It's just y'all that don't watch. He was talking to an older guy, right?
Yeah.
He was like, we cool with all right. He said, well, yeah, don't you want to satisfy us? Anthony Edwards said, you know how old you are? You know what I'm saying? You won't be around that long. We ain't gonna listen to your voice that long.
But see, that's the disrespect that you have. That's like you talking to your dad. Like,
but
my dad was older. Your grandfather was a lot older than me, and he passed away. But I'm not going to, regardless, we had a good relationship, but I don't want to disrespect him and say, because my thing is it's harder to keep a customer than it is to get a new customer. And my thing is like, you keep the customer that been paying the bills and loving the game. Like, how you going, just because I'm older don't mean I don't love the game no more.
He not saying you don't love it, but they don't have to listen to you. So my thing is, I'll never say that disrespect is, I never call disrespect telling somebody how you truly feel.
Yo, but only in the NBA we do that shit. They don't do it in any other sport.
Right.
The legends don't get disrespected.
Right.
And it works both ways. Some of the older dudes are disrespecting the young guys. I understand that. But only in basketball we do this. We don't do this in football or in baseball. This type of conversation never goes on.
Exactly. Because when I watch
telling me that Duke is going to beat Carolina is disrespectful.
All right, yeah. Okay. All right, here we go.
Disrespectful.
But yo, and then one more thing. I believe that respecting your elders is overrated. I believe that
if the elders give respect.
I believe the respecting. I believe every single person, whether you're 1 or 100 or one, demands the respect that you deserve. I know a lot of older people think about, you should just respect me because I'm older. That doesn't make you right. It's some fucked up people that's older that feel like they can talk to you and do anything to you just because you're older and you're supposed to respect it. I don't care if you're 1 year old or 101 years old. You respect the person the same. So just people getting respect because they older is overrated. Respect the elders is overrated.
Donald, you'll beat up a senior citizen. That's what you're saying?
If he deserve it. If he deserve it.
This is my thing.
I'll beat your old ass.
I'm gonna get inside, and like if I feel like I'm very respectful to all ages. If you disrespect me and I'm showing you respect, then I'm gonna get real disrespectful with you. I don't give a fuck what y'all. I agree with. I don't give a fuck what if I respect you, I open the door and the dude he kind of like look at me and then he closed the door on me. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck your old ass up. Like,
hey, Jody, have y'all seen the video when Bill Bellamy tell the story on that movie Any Given Sunday when Jim Brown was talking shit to them young dudes that bites them Jim Brown? I'm gonna put it in the group chat. Y'all gonna laugh your ass off.
So this is what
I'll bite slam your old ass.
This is what I'm waiting to see. I can't wait I'm gonna push this narrative. I can't wait to see Donald disrespect Jody on this show. I can't wait to see it.
Now you know the thing is. But the thing is, me and Jody got a good relationship. And I was always been younger than him. He's always been respectful. One thing about me, I'm the type of person that You're every single person in this world. I don't care what you do with somebody else. You're 100% perfect to me. Now, once you show me a different side, I'm taking it all the way there, and I'm gonna respect you 100%. Now, once you take it outside of that, then that's what it is. But
So we're gonna
I'm
have boxing gloves with Jody and Donald.
but you see, but the thing about it, Mike, on some real, and it's just that's just who, especially when it comes to sports. I might say little sly shit if y'all make a comment, but it's never disrespect. It's never, and me and Mike been going at it for years, but it's never disrespect. I might not agree with what the fuck he said, but I'm not disrespecting him and his opinion. I disrespect what he's. I don't disrespect what he's. I just don't agree with it. So I just think that some people be talking out the side of their goddamn neck, and they come into the building disrespectful.
Oh yeah, that's happens.
But yeah, man, we got to go because I'm hungry. It's your boy Jody Coleman from Against the Grain Sports Podcast Uncut. Man, we here with Michael the People Champ Perry back in the building. Can't wait for tomorrow because I want to know what shirt he gonna have on. And of course, we got Donald, the voice of the youth. Can't wait to see what shirt he got on. It's gonna be crazy. Duke of North Carolina, man, the best rivalry in all of college basketball, and it ain't even close. We got Jarrell Soul on Sports Glenn all the way from San Antonio, Texas, man. Hey, we had the coldest 77-degree day yesterday I've ever been a part of. That shit was cold yesterday. Fuck, it's supposed to be 77. We got Ray more than just a barber, Lindsay in his absence. We got Jason, the hefty lefty. He'll be checking out my nephew at 6 o'clock. Pick Central will be trying to go on and try to see if they can win a state championship, of course. We got Andrew mic'd up, Lester, proven winner, Johnson, and we can't do none of this without Jay Kane, the chef, cooking it up in the kitchen, y'all. Hey, so what we doing till tomorrow, man?
We working, baby.
See y'all tomorrow. Peace.